So let's play this AI generated masterpiece.
Beautiful.
I thought I'd suck you rich one day. Crypto dreams that led me astray. Put my money in some new trend. Watched it vanish in the end. All the promises that filled my head, hopes and dreams now lying there. Saw the clouds fall from the skies. Now I'm left with tears in my eyes. Lost it all to a blood scheme, chasing shadows in a digital dream. All my money gone like a whisper in the night. Crypto thieves took off out of sight. Late at night I feel the sting. Wallet drain, not a thing. Hopes were high, now sinking low. Fell for something I didn't know. Gotta love the mother's nest. Can't believe I fell for this. Time to build and start anew. Leave behind this crypto blues. Lost it all to a blood scheme, chasing shadows in a digital dream. All my money gone like a whisper in the night. Crypto thieves took off out of sight. Picking up the pieces, started again. Crypto thieves won't let them win. Through the lows and the highs, next time I'll see through the lies. Picking up the pieces, started again. Crypto thieves won't let them win. Through the lows and the highs, next time I'll see through the lies.
Then we got the breakdown.
Picking up the pieces, starting again. Crypto thieves won't let them win. Through the lows and the highs, next time I'll see through their lies. Picking up the pieces, started again. Crypto thieves won't let them win. Through the lows and the highs, next time I'll see through their lies.
All right.
Psyched.
Welcome everybody. That was a
Here we go.
oh shit, it's auto playing something. That was Crypto Thieves by Neon Space, aka the Suno AI generated Neon Space. I made our profile name though, so if anybody likes that song and finds it randomly, they can look at our profile and then find our website.
Nice.
KY said that is crypto jazzercise. I feel like you can jazzercise pretty hard to that. Feels like it's
Yeah,
good
it
like
is like 80s synth music.
speed walking music. You could speed walk real hard to that.
The lyrics are just fun. Also, it's nice to see it working as a 80s synth song after we clearly heard it working as a bluegrass kind of like blues song earlier.
We'd make a song about why won't the price of ether go up?
Yeah, let's see. Or how about Wax?
Oh yeah,
It's a
sure.
little more. Just be like,
What genre do we want? Does anybody in the audience have
mm,
genre preferences?
yeah, let's see. It's got to be like something desperate sounding.
We do hip hop. Hip hop.
Oh, hip hop's fun.
Hip hop song about why the price
Math
of
rock. I don't know. Is math rock one of the? Would it know?
math rock is generally instrumental. I don't know if that's gonna work
Yeah.
with with the lyrics, but
Was it like Caribou or something? They do like math rock with some lyrics, but it's in a foreign
Caribou's
language.
not really math rock. Caribou's more like psychedelic rock, and math rock is like a forget the band name, but the other sounds like bring 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 like that's like the vocal in it. Oh, now we're getting off the rails. I'm gonna have to find it. I wonder if anybody knows the band I'm talking about. The cymbal, the drummer puts a cymbal way up high, so every time he hits, he has to like jump and hit it. Battles. That's the name of the band.
Battles. Oh yeah. Okay, I remember now. Now I know the vocals you're talking about.
That's it says they're
I think
alternative.
he's
I
actually. They're
I
actually
consider them.
saying lyrics like it's like people won't be people when they hear this sound or something like that.
Yeah, that's
It's
math
like
rock.
at least
That's what.
yeah.
Look at Battle's drummer too, just so we can see a reference to that. I'm fairly positive he's the one that puts a cymbal up super high. Yeah, like his cymbal's way the frick up here.
That's too funny.
So every time he hits a cymbal, he like does a way like ah. It's pretty fun live. Like you have to see him like jump up and hit it.
That is pretty funny.
Price of wax cryptocurrency will not go up. Make a hip hop song about why the price of wax cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Of
Like
why?
maybe like a diss track.
I mean, let's just see what it comes up with.
That'd be funny if it starts dissing on it. You'd have some AI beef, like hip hop beef, or start beefing about like a different AI. Be like, make a hip hop song about ChatGPT being a bitch.
Okay, it's generating. I've never heard it do hip hop. I wonder if this is gonna sound like AI rapping. Taking a while to generate. It's thinking. Crypto blues is what it's called. Introspective rhythmic hip hop is what we're calling it.
Oh, whoa, fancy.
The lyrics are, I've been checking on my wallet, no gains, just losses, wax not rising. Crypto's got us cautious. Okay, this is already a banger, I can tell.
Okay, okay.
I've been checking on my wallet, no gains, just losses. Wax not rising, crypto's got us cautious. We're waiting in the shadows, watching charts turn red. Dreaming of that green light.
Oh,
I was digging it.
maybe it's still
I've been
generating.
checking on my wallet.
Let's see what this other one sounds like. Uh-oh.
Let's see.
That one's a little too, like, melodic hip hop.
I've been checking on my wallet.
Same thing for this one.
No gains, just
Yeah, I want to hear
losses.
like a
Wax
rap.
not
Maybe I would say
rising.
rap.
I don't like that one either. See if we can get this one longer than.
I've been checking on my wallet, and crypto's got us turning red.
This is
Dreaming
better.
of that green light, but it's stuck instead. Wax won't go up, no matter how we try. We believe and we hope, but it's flat and dry. They say it's all about timing, but we're running late. Holding on to these coins, feeling kinda played. Forms full of promises, but they're empty dreams. Markets oversaturated, bursting at the seams.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the actual music, but the lyrics are okay. Try one more.
Yeah, try doing giving it like maybe like a G-funk rap style.
I was saying
Like,
boom
I wanna hear
bap.
it, like,
Boom bap hip hop
Oh,
song.
okay.
Boom bap is
Okay.
very like grungy hip hop.
yeah.
I guess I don't have to
I wanna
say
hear-
make a boom bap hip hop about why price of wax.
I think if you do like the more advanced thing, then you can like choose different genres specifically. Like you can be like hip hop and this. Like you can make your own genre by mixing a bunch of different tags.
Do this stuff. Crypto blues, rhythm, spoken word, boom bap. Okay. At least getting
Okay.
the genre right for me.
Yeah. A boom bap, huh?
Tell it mumble rap.
Okay.
I
Also
wonder if
good.
it could do mumble rap because like mumble rap, you can't hardly understand what people are saying. I feel like that's gonna be hard for.
I
Well,
feel
let's
like
see
it
what
could
this one.
probably do that pretty well, right? It can imitate
Prices
noises.
rising, falling quick, looking for that crypto kick. Waxing, climbing, no surprise. Market playing tricks with lies. Hype and buzzing, getting high. NFTs just passing by. Speculators running fast. Crypto dreams don't seem to last. Why wax won't go past the moon and stars? We know markets cold and moving slow. Up, it's not a won't, it just won't go. Investors talk.
All right, let's try the second verse on this other one.
That's pretty bad. That was pretty good. That was more what I expected.
Speculators running fast, crypto dreams don't seem to last. Why wax won't go past the moon and stars? We know market's cold and moving slow. Up, it's not, it won't, it just won't go. Let's just talk a fancy game, promises they sound the same. Big hot air and empty space, chasing losses in a race. Blockchain tech and killing it, other coins are taking it. Wax is stuck and can't break free, in the shadows quietly. Why wax won't go past the moon and stars? We know market's cold and moving slow. Up, it's not, it won't, it just won't go.
That's
All right, that worked pretty good.
AI Drake is better than actual Drake. Yeah, that's funny.
Does that sound like Drake? I don't even know what Drake sounds like. I thought Drake sounded more like the first one we did.
Kinda. It's kind of Drakey. I don't know. That's pretty funny. That's not bad. Like they're getting closer to what I expected with that prompt.
Can you tell which instrument does the lead? Give me an oboe hook. You probably can. There's also like
I
a
think
more
you can.
advanced
Yeah.
mode. The more advanced mode lets you
Yeah.
put in your own lyrics too.
You put in your yeah, and then you can like categorize like if this is the verse, this is the chorus, this is the bridge. You can be like put a pause here. Like that's how Lewis got the Crypto Thieves song to be like Crypto Thieves out of sight. After that, like that pause was like you just typed it in brackets and said break, I think,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I put a pause in there.
We have
It's
a grub.
impressive, I have to say. It's impressive what it can do.
Got a grubfish form up if anybody wants to join. Exclamation point neon in your wax wallet. Then I'm gonna throw it over to Max for the actual technical part of our stream. I'm only good at generating random AI songs and ranting about stuff. But
I really
here we
enjoyed
go.
that though.
I'll try a G-Funk one, but let's do some tech stuff first. Thank you for the follow, Scrawn the Colony.
Yo,
Also,
yo.
it is exclamation point neon, not exclamation point play. If you want to join that wolf giveaway.
Oh yeah. Nice, fixed it.
I don't know, I've definitely seen you around for a long time, Scrawn. Seen you in Discords. Max is looking at the Bitcoin chart, it looks like.
Oh yeah. So let's take a look at what we want to see for Bitcoin. So have copy. Basically, Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto market is looking more bearish again this week than it was last week. So specifically the last 2 days or so, you see how we were last week. We were kind of like falling, and we had actually fallen below our kind of like wedge that we were in, that we had broken out of. So it's kind of like deviated for a while, but then when we fell back into it last week, we got this big sell off here. And this would have been on, why is this always in my way? That would have been on Monday last week. So Monday last week, and then so when we were looking at the market last week, we were basically looking at it having fallen to here, and what we were thinking, or what I was thinking, was that we would see a bit of a retest. Looking at the daily chart as usual, I would have expected like a retest to like our strength band, to then be rejected and pushed back. But with this kind of like trend line, we also have gotten, I think like this range here is a decent place to get that kind of rejection, and that seems like what has happened over the last few days. So we got kind of like we got our sell off, which we already saw last week, and then last week we are like, okay, for the next week, we don't think it's going to do a whole lot more of a selling off. It just did a big sell, and so the whole week it kind of did flatline here, recover a bit, and then just now in the last like 48 hours or so has basically fallen back to the like body of the previous week's candle, like last Monday's candle where we dropped here before we had this like wick down. And so looking at the Bitcoin chart, what I want to see is, let's jump over to a couple of, what is this? This is here. Here we go. This is Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart right now. So I'm watching, let's go back to Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin. We're going to drop from the daily to the 4-hour to get a little bit closer here. And so what we're seeing here, if I turn off my eyeball, what we're seeing here is like basically bear flag forming. So you have like this, I guess I have it already drawn out here. You have this kind of like flag kind of after this big drop from the last 48 hours or so, finding support and then like bouncing into this channel, which that channel then was lost here, and we were looking for, which, let's see if we look yoink and look over a little. So this support here would have been about 60,500, where we'd been bouncing this yellow line. And then once we broke out of here, which we now have, so you can see we've broken the bottom of this channel. If we go back to the 4-hour here, that would be this, if we're looking at a line that kind of follows along here. Let's just draw it really quick. We won't have to save it or anything. Let's do, oh, here's the line. Okay. Kind of like this to here, where we would be looking for it, kind of like, moving like that. And then again, you could either look at it as like a wedge, or if we're doing the flag, which Sid drew out the flag here, which is, from the retest peak to this peak, basically a widening wedge. Either way, it's a bearish flag, and what we'll be looking for here is for basically it to break and then take out to the lower targets here, which would basically retest the previous floor and then maybe close even lower than that. But before that happens on the 4-hour, it's likely we basically, bounce back to this kind of like trend line. So looking at the bear flag here, the expectation now is to see kind of like a retest. Let's go. Okay, we're in the 4-hour already. To see kind of like a retest, which we also, I guess, we're starting to see play out here. So you can see this is the 4-hour. It's starting to come a little higher already than when Sid made this drawing. But the idea here is that, so this candle has closed, and we have a second 4-hour candle now that's kind of making exactly this blue line play out. But the idea is we're going to push up to the trend line to kind of cool off our SRSI. So get out of here. So you see how oversold we are. We're basically looking to get this back into the like mid or upper ranges of overbought, while pushing up to where our trend line is, but not above it, and then probably being rejected to then push down and continue the remainder of this break below the line, which again which would then see us probably testing all the way down to this longer term trend line here, and then sees us falling back into our long term channel wedge here. But either way, still looking pretty bearish, and we're looking for that. And so the 4-hour is kind of like the, right now for me at least, trading shorts on this move. The 4-hour is kind of what I want to see. So either to add to my short positions if we see this start to top out in the 4-hour and not close above, or if we see then the strength band get closed above. So as we move up here, seeing the strength band come and meet us, and if we push above the strength band and close above that on the 4-hour, then kind of abandon this breakout below the flag and consider this maybe a higher low. So then you'd see here we made a low and then here's a higher low. But of course, like I said, we're looking for a retest and then a push down to potentially make a lower low still. So basically, we don't, we've gotten a low, a higher low, a higher high, and now this is pushing lower. If we were calling this our higher low, this is pushing lower again. So this is starting to flip kind of like in the other direction for our sentiment. But you can also see we haven't actually made a lower low than our previous drop. So we could expect here then is if we're not going to get the push and push down to a lower low, then we would see potentially a push up and then hopefully pushing past to make a higher high and continuing up. It doesn't look super bullish to me though on the daily chart. If we daily has a lot of like we're approaching the overbought side. With the weekly though, we have the opposite thing. So we're getting like this kind of like mixed signal again. Although you can see here on the weekly chart, hide my little lines again. Where's this eyeball? There it is. Hide my lines. So you can see the weekly chart is actually approaching oversold, and is starting to basically find the support on the strength band. So what we would expect if the weekly is going to stay bullish, this is where we need the weekly to start bouncing. So in the coming week or so, basically not seeing it fall below, I guess we're at 60K now, like 50, 57, $56,000 and holding like there for days, that becomes more of a bearish trend on the weekly then, and that potentially opens us up to falling to like weekly support levels, which would be 50 what is that, 152, and then below that you have like 43 or something. So a long way down for Bitcoin if we don't bounce on our support here. Although let's zoom out even further. So this last week we saw the monthly candle close as well. Here we go. Zoom in on the monthly. Monthly still looking very bullish. Still also closing, on like monthly support here. So you can actually see monthly support lines up with the previous all-time highs. So you can see we busted kind of out beyond those on the monthly, made some new all-time highs for Bitcoin in the past few months, and then now are kind of like retesting the old support where we would then expect to hopefully bounce and move higher. Of course, the monthly has a lot of space between where our current spot price is and where the strength band is. So even if our weekly does end up to turning bearish to retest these levels, these previous support levels, then I could still imagine our monthly sentiment staying bullish, because it's likely that pushing to those previous levels, like here 50,000, 44,000 would then meet with the strength band and give us a chance to get a nice bounce on the monthly to continue our long-term bull trend. In the short term though, weekly and daily, it's still not looking super bullish. Let's go even further out. The 3-month, so the quarterly closed also last week, and so you can see with that quarterly closed, we got a not a bad quarter close, honestly. Like this is a very bullish quarter. Obviously, we even got our bull print for the first time. We've actually never had enough data to create a strength band, but last time here you can see our bull print also happened, pushed a little beyond, and then kind of like flatlined for quite a while here. So we're in a similar boat right now. So let's go a little closer. We could consider this candle to be a little more bearish than bullish, but again, these are quarterly candles. This can take a long time to actually like play out, and it's more of a like overarching kind of like sentiment guide versus like I'm gonna watch the quarterly chart to get information on a move that I'm making today, because I'm making moves on a weekly basis more than a quarterly basis. So this is more like on the quarter, we're still definitely in a bullish side of this. We still have our bullish print. We're still plenty of room on the SR side. We're not oversold or overbought. We have plenty of room in either direction, basically. Same is true then if we're looking at the monthly, where the monthly is actually in a healthy area, on the overbought side, but still like not looking like it needs to chill out. And then when we start to zoom closer, the weekly actually looks like it wants to start to move up here to get a little bit more of its strength index back into the buying side of things, which is also in line with our chart finding itself right on support. So the weekly chart is actually looking like this is a solid place to maybe re-enter if you've taken profit on this like double top. Like 2 weeks ago when we were first looking at the market, we were saying that like, hey, the market is looking a little like it's a double top. It's definitely not super bearish yet, but this is the early indication of that. So if you were somebody who maybe acted on that signal, this might not be a terrible place to actually re-enter. So personally, like while I did say I have a few short positions open, I also have a few liquidity pools that I've added back into here, and am exposed pretty heavily to crypto prices still, because the weekly looks pretty solid. The monthly looks pretty good, and then the daily is starting to like maybe signal more and more bearish. And so like basically the thing we're watching to keep a closer eye on the daily is this 4-hour kind of wedge or bear flag breakout. You can see again here it is for Bitcoin, and what we're looking for is a retest on the 4-hour to around 60, let's say 62,500 or something, anywhere basically that stays below our 4-hour strength band is going to be kind of like a target for a retest and a rejection. And then anything that closes within those 4-hour candles above the strength band would invalidate this loss of this channel, and then invalidate the continuation of this move down for the next leg down. So either way, I'm gonna be watching this. If like for example, if some of my short positions had been stopped out, or if I hadn't gone short yet, this presents the opportunity to then go short. Should we see, basically, here's what I'm looking for. If I'm looking at my chart, I'm looking at Bitcoin. I'm on the 4-hour already, and I'm gonna. What is this? Get out of here. Look at it like this. So basically, all I wanted to do is grab a line, kind of do the point on where the bodies of these candles are, draw that line through to where the bodies and wicks of that candle is, and then extend it kind of further than that still. Something like this. You can go as far as you want, basically. But here's kind of this line on the 4 hours, what I wanted to be drawing out, and then I want to see here, are we going to push up to this line but not over the line, in line with the SRSI also becoming overbought again? So basically, I'm looking for an overbought SRSI on the 4-hour with a spot price closing below this kind of a trend line, and I guess more accurately just below my strength band. And if both those conditions are met, then that's another opportunity to enter a short position. Looking at Ethereum, it's a basically similar story. So we can actually go back to Ethereum, having here also, on the left side, we can see Ethereum here now, and you also see, we've had our downturn. We have a little widening wedge going that Sidra up for me, and then you can see a similar deal where we've gotten our sell-off to the previous support where the initial sell-off found support as well. You can see only this time wicks instead of full candle bodies dropping that low, but definitely retesting it and then making that like rounded bottom, suggesting that we're finding a little bit of a bounce here. And then again, that bounce expecting to push up to our trend line here again, which is going to be 33.50 or so, before getting rejected and then retesting the bottom range, possibly falling through it, and then playing out the target of the bull flag, where if we're looking at this, we can
Dropped
see
down to 32.90 like I don't know, maybe an hour ago.
Yeah, 32.90. So yeah, it dropped down to like right here is the wicks. So we wicked all the way down to like almost 32, like 80 or something, even maybe yeah, like below 32.80.
89
And
is at least on the
yeah,
Coinbase chart.
yeah, so it wicked pretty much to the previous like candle bodies here, which we can actually see here as well. Yeah, so here you can see, and now that we're actually a few hours after that chart's been posted, you can see there was a big, like pullback on the following 4-hour candle, which is still over an hour from being closed. But you can see we're very oversold now. So we are looking basically for this candle, and you can kind of see a little bit of a like a tweezer bottom here. Maybe not quite. A tweezer bottom would be like if both of the wicks were similar length and both of the candle bodies stop at the same spot. It's close, but that generally is like an indication of a reversal from bear to bull. At least on the timeline that we're seeing that indication happening. And so if that is what we're seeing here, then we would expect to see this kind of continue to push up, and then just like Sid had drawn out in the chart, the idea would be we'd pull up, run out of steam around 3250. Is that
3340.
yeah 3350, 3360, 3340, kind of this range. So we would top out 33, yeah, like around here. At which point, likely the strength band has come down and will be there, get rejected, and then if we get rejected there and start moving down again, opportunity presents itself for me, like for us to take short positions, and then expect those short positions to pull out or to play out the entire bear flag sell off. Which, if we're looking at the same thing that Sid was drawing out here, we can do a quick kind of like makeshift version of that same thing. Get out of here. So if we have do this kind of quickly, across the top, something like this channel, which fell in from there to here, where we dropped from this range. Once we lost our range here, similar deal. And then so this kind of length would be, once we lose the channel, we'll want to see that play out. So you can see this has this like breakout from this channel would be effectively halfway played out at this point. And like Sid would also say often, price isn't going to move unilaterally in one direction. So obviously, while we're still playing out the target, and the target ends around 3100 or 3150 or something for ETH, it's more likely that we do kind of a choppy, like retest, rejection, and push down than it is that we, do a straight drop to the target. Generally, it's not a whole, something more like this drop, and you can see, look at that, almost like full, but no, we'll pull back, hold here, lose that level, and then next level down. This one's a little bit too clean, but you can see in general, it's like price moving sideways, fall, sideways, fall, sideways, fall, sideways, fall. So it's like generally you like a stair step thing, and we want to trade this level to level or step to step. And you can see we're currently within kind of like this step. It's a little like more slanted than something like this, where it's super like clean and clear. But we're basically still, this being a level, lost support into this level. If we lose support, the level becomes kind of down here. So we have an opportunity to see if that is going to play out, and if so, enter short, kind of like 30, 32.25 or something. Maybe I think I have a target at 32 something on GMX, like a limit order to sell short. But either way, looks like this week the markets will want to kind of like stop the sell off that we've seen. Should find support around the weekly levels where we are now. Although on the daily, so in the next few days, it is possible we play out the rest of this this leg down, which would basically test these bottom levels of, if we're just looking at the strength band, like where the strength band did its loop down here, this would basically become support. We'll find a bounce there, move higher, and then when we look at the weekly chart, this won't even look very dramatic. It'll literally just be like level up, testing this range, and then we're going to push up and then move to the next level higher. Because the weekly chart is, the weekly chart, it looks a lot cleaner and you get a lot easier like ideas of these moves. But yeah, you can kind of see it here too, where we get a, like flat and then big moves, getting flat, move, flat, and then this is a bit of a pullback. But that's why we like watching the strength band and stuff, because it gives us a sense of like, okay, we're pulling all the way back to here, and you can kind of see last time we got this much of a pullback right to the band, oversold on the daily strength band. That's when we got a huge bounce. And so looking at, for example, Bitcoin now, very much oversold right on the band. That's the kind of range where if we're going to stay bullish, we would expect like a nice big candle here. So a big green week on the horizon, hopefully. Otherwise, we need to also be prepared for, looking at the daily chart, for us to fall back into this old kind of channel trend, and then retest our long-term trend line. Like, look at this big old trend line that we've been trading for like over a year now. We're still way above that now, and so we definitely have room to like retest all the way down to that, which is very likely to be similar to the range where we're gonna fall if we break this trend line here on the daily. So similar to what we were looking at on the 4 hour, we had like a little flag pull, and we're looking for, if we break it, we'll probably break it the same length as the pull was. That pull would likely take us to our previous strength, our previous trend line, or our long-term trend line rather. Which, looking at the daily chart and seeing the overbought SRSI, isn't out of the question. Like, to see the daily move down a little bit, shake out a little bit more of the paper hands, if you want to think about it like that. But yeah, it's definitely still looking pretty bullish when I zoom out to the monthly and to the weekly. But the daily, especially the last weeks or so, have been, I guess we can see the weekly here. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks or so, last like month or so, has been, pulling back down to our strength band. And so we definitely have, a lot of sentiment out there now where people are worried about, people who've been jumping in on this market during the euphoria cycle here are now like, oh shit, did I make a mistake? Did I overextend? And that's basically how big money makes their money off retail, is like when retail second guesses themselves and paper hands out of these positions, basically buying high and selling low. And so generally this kind of price activity, like 5 weeks of negative price action, will shake out, especially a lot of like less seasoned holders or people who are less used to this type of volatility. And then once those people have sold, clears the way for the for the market making kind of like bigger players to pump these prices again, entice the next like round of people to ape in on the way up, and then as it like cools off again, collect from those people, as you do the whole dumb money kind of like strategies. But with all that in mind, let's take a look at Wax too.
Let's do a giveaway first.
Okay, yeah.
Got a grubfish in the background. Also, Scrawn wanted to ask us if we could look at the TON chart, and we can look at that after. But he also said wanted to do a grubfish, got 30-minute Bitcoin deep dive, and Bitcoin's important because TON and every other token, including like Ether, which we're looking at, generally follow Bitcoin. So like, always start with Bitcoin and then move on to like ETH, Wax, and the other ones we want to look at. But generally, like Bitcoin is the decider of everything. So that's why it's important to start with that. And let me go over to my screen real quick so we can do this giveaway. And then we'll look at the TON chart and the Wax chart.
Let's see. Yeah, the TON chart's looking crazy nice. I've been in TON for a while now. It's awesome. No one wants to look at the Wax chart. That's funny. Wopaca's blowing up. Yeah, the Wax chart has definitely been rough. I'll show you some of my TON exploits though. or explorations.
I don't think that's the right
sounds
word
like-
either.
Yeah, exploit sounds like I have some kind of hack to show you.
Some of your Ton adventures, we can call it.
Yeah, I'll show you some of my Ton adventures.
Experiments, another word we could use.
I love this like Ton blockchain. It's like the
Oh.
main blockchain I have on my phone.
DJ Boris, I believe, is or D Bajoris. Wait, I gotta see the name. D Borge. Borges. How do you say a J next to an S? Borges. D Borges. Is
I think yes.
that like a Russian thing? I feel like you don't see that a lot in you don't see that a lot in American names. But congrats, you just won 1 million woof.
So this is super cool with this Ton wallet. You can connect to
Oh,
like.
we're still on my screen, so wait a sec.
Then let me just smoke some weed.
It's almost 4th of July. Shout out to all of our Americans
Fourth.
out there. Happy America's birthday.
Yeah. Marcy's not a patriot. She hates fireworks, and she's been hating it. She's just like, if it was up to her, there wouldn't be fireworks.
Yeah, Marcy's she's a little baby. Honestly, fireworks have not been bad at all this year. Usually it's like the whole like 5 weeks leading up to the 4th of July, there's a ton of fireworks, but it really hasn't been that many. I mean, I've had my window open at night and I'm not hearing lots of fireworks. All right, got a new Grubfish open. Exclamation point neon on your wax wallet if you want to join, and I will throw it back over to it's Davin Borgia.
Happy
his name?
4th, U.S. friends. Yes. Ton wallet, do you recommend? I am using Ton Keeper.
Oh shit, I just got rid of you. Yeah, I use Keeper as well.
So I
Because
just
if
set it
you're
up.
if you're in the US, you can't use the built-in like there's a Ton wallet that just works in Telegram, but it's like region locked outside of the US. But Keeper you can download on your phone, and then it's just like in most of the dApps and stuff, like the games you're playing, it's like connect your wallet. There's an option for Keeper. It's one of the most popular wallets, so there's not really like an issue using the dApps with it. And then you can also get it on your computer as like an extension. It's like the same thing as what's the friggin' big MetaMask, like where it's just like an extension on your web browser. So I have Keeper both same wallet on my computer and my phone, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm on my computer now sharing my screen, but I don't even have this shit on my computer. I just have it on my phone. And so when I connect to it, I just click on here, I'll show you. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I can like disconnect and do it again, right?
Karan is asking, are there any NFT marketplaces on Ton yet? I think Max has mostly been messing with token trading more than NFTs, but I have to imagine there's at least one.
Let's see. There's got to be a portal. So in general, in DeFi terms, if you look for a portal like Ton, the Open Network portal, that should be it should be like a repository for all the different like dApps and applications built on it. So let's see if we can find that. Cancel whatever this is.
Eborge says Gem is the NFT marketplace.
There you
GEM.
go. Bridge domains.
Yeah, Ton's really cool. Max and I got into it because someone in Telegram shared this dumb cat game where you drag cats into each other and they get fatter, and I was like, fat cats,
so good.
crypto, I'm friggin' in, and I got some fatties right now, but Max has done more exploring than me. I played like the hamster clicker too. Like I've tried a couple of the games, but Max says there's like trading bots in Telegram where you can like have them trade for you just through Telegram, which is pretty cool.
It's incredible. So here, check this out. So now I'm just on my computer. I'm gonna click Connect Wallet in the top, and then I'm using Ton Keeper. So I'm clicking that up, and it brings up a I wonder if it shows. Oh, maybe I don't think it. Oh, it does. It does show. Okay, so it brings up like a QR code, and then I just use my cell phone with the Keeper wallet up. I scan the QR code from here. Well, maybe I moved my. There we go. It's because the mouse was in the way. And then on my phone, it's like, do you want to connect? And I say, yep, connect. And then on my computer, it just connects. So now, even though the wallet is on my phone, I can very easily connect to like other applications. So if I was like, for example, at the library or something, I could still like use the library computer, go to ston.fi and log in with my cell phones as the wallet and sign transactions from here. So this is like the biggest DEX that I found out here. And if you go to pools, and then if you go to here, I guess you can see my pools, for example. You can farm and they pay, this one pays 70% APR and this one pays 103%. And that's just for, TON and USDT, or STON is the token for this DEX. And then put my stuff in this farm. I don't have like a crazy amount of money on this blockchain because it's on my phone. But you can see then I can come here and claim my rewards. So I earn, I guess this one earns STON. And let's see, I think the TON USDT one, I think this one earns just regular TON. Yeah, so this one almost $1 worth of TON since then. But that's really cool, really easy, kind of like to do these kind of pools.
Is
Just like
STON just staked on like every other chain that is S
I think
something?
STON is specifically the token for STON.fi, which if you go to stake, you can stake your STON token and get like voting rights on the DEX. And I think you also here, if you stake them, you get like here. Do I have any in my wallet? If you stake them and lock them for 1 year or 2 years, I guess 24 months, you get these gemstone tokens 1-to-1, and you get some type of like thing. I don't know. I have a stake here going. Like, what did I stake? I staked like 13 of these. And it looks like they're still going for like a year and 12 months. I just did for 2 years. We'll see. I was like, whatever. I'm gonna test all this stuff out, and 2 years from now, we'll see if this was a good move or not. But I got a bunch of gemstone tokens for that, which you can do whatever you want with. Well, I think I sold mine already. Let's see. GM. No, I didn't. So I just you get 1-to-1 for however many you stake. So I guess I got 4 like straight away. And then I think there's some type of like better incentives to staking these. I just was just like, whatever, I'll stake it. I think I staked like $100 worth or something. But really cool that you can just sign into this stuff.
What's
from
the
your
gems
wallet.
used for? Is there a use for the gem?
The gemstone right now, it's just like it's a engagement token. It says, let's see, what is gemstone? Engagement token used to incentivize active participation in Stone protocol. Tokens are funded to staker wallets in the form of fungible tokens on TON blockchain. Blah 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 blah. Let's see. Traded or held at the staker's discretion, the supply of gemstone tokens is theoretically unlimited, and Ston Phi DAO is motivated to introduce various mechanics to permanently remove gemstone from circulations, and so the incentive so they're like, it could be something in the future. And it's like, why do I need it? And it says we deliberately don't provide details describing the possible use case. So it's basically just like a, I don't know, hype coin if you want.
Sounds like not a bad thing to sell.
Yeah, it's like basically just it's a token that you get for staking. So like for example, if you look, I've staked 12.7 and 1.2. I've staked 14 point whatever stone for 2 years, right? And so that's how I got 14.02 gems. Like you basically get 1 gemstone for 1 S-tone that you've locked for 2 years. So theoretically, there's unlimited, because after 2 years, you can just lock the same tokens again and get another, payment of gemstone. But the only way to get the gemstones in the first place is to stake and lock your S-tone, which is a finite token supply. There's not an infinite amount of these. But either way, it's cool. There's a lot of like pools. If you look around here, there's a ton of tokens. And like the thing that really stuck out to me is if you sort by like TVL, for example, there's a lot of liquidity here. Like $214 million in this pool. That's like that's ridiculous. That's huge. The not ton pool has 8 million. You know, like these
Notcoin
smaller
is also
pools.
like Notcoin's like a meme coin from a tapper. Like that's a
Yeah,
lot of
from a
liquidity
tap.
for that.
That's a ridiculous amount of liquidity they have. And look at this. They did $1.5 million and a half in volume in 24 hours. Like this, there's a lot going on this chain as far as like value moves. And then you know, there is a lot of like APR options too. Like if you're willing to play with some of these like stupid tokens, like if you go farm APR, you can see 300% APR. Like I don't know what WTF is, but if you
Got a
want,
guy's
like I
head
think
exploding. It's got to be good.
it's got to be some fun. Like I played one that was called Dick, and I think holding the tokens got you some kind of like Dick PFPs. I don't know if I ever got them, but I had fun farming them. And then just as one other thing that I've been playing on here, there is a second app that I've been using on this that's called. Let's see. I think it's called. It's another like. Okay, here it is. Storm. It's called Storm. But that one is pretty wild too. And again, this one is another one that's a little slow for my tastes. Storm. It's a little slow for my taste with this blockchain, I feel like. Let's see, did I type in the right one? Yeah, here you go. This is on a straight up on a trade, like on Telegram. So you can do this from your Telegram app. And same with this last one that we were looking at, Stone.fi has a Telegram app or bot that lets you then just like participate in this. But if you click here like trade in Telegram, it's basically it'll open this interface on your phone in Telegram. I'm gonna say trade in the wallet here though, or in app, just to show off what this app is. And so this is another like trading platform, but directly from your wallet. You can come up here, connect your wallet. Same as before. I can scan from my cell phone, connect, and log in. And then you can use this app just like you would use something like GMX or something, where I can then go, trade. I can choose a market. So first I can choose here on the right. I'm choosing like a base asset. So if I personally I like to trade in terms of USDT or in dollars in general because it makes sense to me. And so if I did like Bitcoin or I guess ETH is more smaller numbers, a little easier. What you can do here is like create a long or a short sell with your USDT, or if you're instead using TON with your TON by going like to like the ETH TON market here, for example. And then you can actually create like leverage positions with like up to 50x leverage, long and short these positions. Really cool that you can do this from your phone from Telegram. It's not like this kind of thing isn't available on other blockchains, but I'm pretty impressed that you can do it, and then like the offers here aren't because these are perpetual futures that settle. For example, if you're using US dollars, this is always going to settle as in US dollar coin. These tokens don't have to exist on the block network, on the TON network. And so you can see you can trade stuff like XRP, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Solana, Bonk, Pepe, like Whiff, Dog with Hat. Like they have a bunch of nonsense coins that aren't necessarily TON native tokens that you can trade perpetuals on directly from Telegram. Pretty wild. But with all that, let's look at the TON network actual price chart. This is the the TON token price in the weekly chart, and it is looking very bullish. I
Soaring.
mean, it's flying. It's at an all-time high, and look at the weekly SRSI is on the oversold side. So we have plenty of room to continue this. Let's look at the daily chart also. Daily chart approaching overbought a little bit, but we got room. And with the weekly chart having the room it has, I'm not so concerned. And you can see actually our bullish kind of market once we kind of got this leg up. When we did our correction, we've been continuing upwards in basically like a rising wedge, it looks like. Generally speaking, rising wedges could be considered like a bearish sign. Let's look at this. Something like that.
RCKMTL says, "Lol, someone do time travel and make the Waxton Bridge happen last week, please." I'm pretty stoked that there's gonna be a Waxton Bridge, though, just in general.
Waxtown Bridge is a huge deal. I think moving stuff into Ton is like gives you exposure to doing things like on that as Ton, or like, you know, trading NFTs or dicking around with these protocols.
Also, like,
that's really
currently probably the biggest clicker chain, like, has like a million clicker games and a million people trying to play the clicker games, and unfortunately, that's mostly what Wax has had as far as gaming goes. So, for like a company strategy to onboard users that are already interested in clicking meme coins, maybe buying NFTs, because some of the projects are offering NFTs on Ton, seems like a pretty good audience to try to bring over to Wax.
yeah. Let's see. I'll pull this all the way back to here, and then we have
The Cats and Hats game was I believe that was made by
ridiculous.
I think. Well, I don't think I think Six Split Glitch made it, and then I was hosted by the Crittercraft guys. I think is how that went. Six Split Glitch is the developer of Nova Rally, the new Nova Rally. He's working with Sammy, and then also Tourist Station was his games, and I think he made that was just like a short little mini game he made, and I think the Crittercraft guys have like a Flash game hosting website, so I think it was like a collaboration between them. That game had no crypto attached to it though. He's pretty 6-Bit Glitch is actually pretty anti-crypto. Like he thinks games shouldn't have crypto tokens. And Tourist Station, he's now developing like off-chain. You're gonna be able to bridge any of your assets from Wax into his game, but I don't think he's building on Wax anymore.
I see.
But if
That's
you
too
have
bad. I really like.
if you got any of his NFTs, you'll be able to use them in his game. And I think he's having some sort of like asset ownership still, where you can own the assets and trade them. He just doesn't think it needs to happen on a blockchain. Like he might make his own, like I guess, own ledger version of a blockchain for his game. I don't know. He talked about it a bit in a couple of the chats, but yeah, that's a long story long. Yeah, it is too bad because I thought Tourist Station was dope. Nova Rally is also kind of being built mostly off chain now too, but it's also like, I don't know, it's tough to do blockchain games correctly, and you're alienating like 99% of the gaming audience if you make your stuff only on chain. Just think like,
yeah, especially sometimes I feel like you're alienating like half the gaming audience if you just mention NFTs in blockchain.
it's probably more than that, but I think the trick is they're trying to just launch an off-chain game and then attach all the Wax stuff to it. Be like, if you have the Wax stuff, then you can connect it and show it off in game. But like the game itself is gonna be primarily off-chain, not like everything you get in the game is on-chain.
I think you're actually kind of right about that, Rock Metal. That like a lot of the crypto games on Telegram currently, you know, they're associated with crypto projects and they have the promise of future blockchain assets. But like my cats aren't on the chain. My cat tokens aren't crypto assets. I've been playing that stupid clicker for like over a month, and actually doesn't actually have any crypto tied to it at all, other than the fact that like the team says there will be something in the future. And that I guess I could buy stuff in the game with crypto. Like I can use Ton to buy like fish coins or whatever. But it's true. I don't think like a lot of those games, even though they are like clickers for crypto, like just the promise of crypto in the future is enough to drive like a lot of people into these clicker games on Telegram at the moment. Which is definitely not the case currently on Wax, which is kind of like what Lewis and I were talking about too. About
I mean,
how, like,
you don't even need the promise crypto. If you look at like the top mobile games on a phone, there's those like games where like you get a building, it makes money, and then you can buy another building when you get enough, and then you can upgrade the buildings, and it's like just the infinite money earning games. Shit ton of people play those. There's zero financial gain even possible. Yeah. People pump in real money to upgrade their shit faster just to be on top of a leaderboard that literally has no financial gain. So like, once you add crypto, it attracts the crypto degens, but it's not like that genre of game doesn't exist outside of the crypto space. It's not one I play outside of the crypto space, but there is an audience for that. Scron said, found our first scam on Ton. Sucked all the assets out of the wallet. And if you didn't pay attention, and I think I posted about that in our Discord in we have a report scammers channel. I said, do not interact with Mines game on Ton. Mines, Minez, is a drainer. It'll drain your wallet. And it's called Minerals, I think. Minerals, but MNEZ is the or MINEZ is the token. They said you could claim the token.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to see that kind of like thing happening on these chains when you like look at how much liquidity there is. I mean, the fact that there is, you know, like hundreds of millions of dollars in liquidity on these pools, there's definitely people to fleece and money to steal.
I mean, we're seeing Ton right now is basically Wax 2021, where there's just a ton of hype around anything. Nobody's really built anything with like. There's all these hype around these tokens where they're like, oh, like Katazin's saying they're going to build a gaming portal that connects 200 games and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, based on being on Wax, I'll believe it. I see it because like 99% of these projects never could do what they said they were going to do, but the hype is there where like the stuff hasn't been built. Everybody's saying they're going to build stuff, so people are like trying to get in early based on the stuff that'll be built. And I don't know, like based on my experience, if I get tokens from Katazin, I'm selling them immediately. Like I've seen what's happened to all these games. Like the hype, always sell the hype. The product that comes out is always worse than the hype. But I don't know. That's my opinion. And I could be wrong. Maybe Katazin will become the new Steam, and it'll be the gaming platform that connects all the games in the world. But like based on my experiences, like I learned from my experiences in 2021 Wax, and I'm definitely going to sell most of anything I get on Ton for free. But I do think that like the hype is real, and as we learned on Wax, once the hype is real, you can kind of trick people more easily because people are FOMOing into stuff. Yeah. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss out if I don't click this," and like that's how you like end up stealing from people. And we don't see it as much on Wax anymore, and that's because all the hype is gone. Like they're like competing for a whitelist to be the first person to buy into a new drop, like a drop going to sell out that you can 10x if you flip. Like that just doesn't exist anymore. So all those like shithead scammers for the most part have moved on. But now that that can exist on another blockchain, like you will for sure see it happen again. And that's also like the nice thing about being in this stuff for a couple of years is like we learned that all in 2021. So now we can not make the same mistakes on Wax, hopefully. And I don't know if everybody watching the stream is here in 2021, but if not, like, you know, talk to the people like us or like Scron who was here and be like, learn from our mistakes. That's one of the reasons why we stream is we're like, we've made a ton of mistakes in crypto and we've been doing it way before NFTs. Like I think I got into around like Max is before me, but like 2017-ish. And like, I don't know, I made the mistake of diversifying too much, selling my Bitcoin and Ether into like every single new token that popped up, and then bear market happened, and when it came back, Bitcoin and Ether came back, and none of those other tokens that I like diversified into did. So this time around, I'm much more heavily in like Ether and stuff, but still have made a lot of mistakes on Wax and had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Looking at this Toncoin market, though, it is very much like Lewis is saying. It has a lot of vibes like Wax in like 2020. Because like look at this. First of all, the price action is blowing up. Like that's pretty easy to see. But then you also have like the on balance volume following it. So you have like basically the metric that tracks money moving into an asset, you know, hovering around 0 like here for a long time, and then skyrocketing to 60 million, or is that 600 million, within the last few months here since like 2020, since like March. So huge amount of money flowing into the market, and not just on BitByte, but also on like KuCoin. I'm seeing a little bit less of that actually on KuCoin. You had a little bit of a sell-off, and now it's, you know, recovering, still on the positive side on the on-balance volume. Let's look at a couple other markets. So like, CMEX, pretty much just a straight line up. Money entering the market. CoinMEX, similar deal, rising on balance volume to match the rising price action. Let's look at Gate.io, even more aggressive rise. I guess the only, let's see, damn, there's a lot of
you guys asking about the Gotti token.
That one.
Check this one out. On Solana, did they announce a giant staking use case for it just recently? I've never even heard of this token, so use case and whatnot about it, I do not know, but Max can look at it, the chart. I don't know if you can click that link
See.
in just the Twitch chat.
Alright.
Birds.i.so, is that like a deck screener?
Let's see.
At least with Ton, you know the team behind knows how to do business. I honestly know nothing about the Ton team. I'm exclusively into Ton because I thought merging cats and making them fatter would be fun. Like, done no research, and then like after that, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, and then I just went to like CoinMarketCap, as one does when you find a new token. And I type it in, I'm like, what the fuck? This is a top 10 market cap token I've never heard of. It's like pretty, by a long period of time, like the newest top 10, like even top 20. Like, there aren't that many new tokens. So like Ton is definitely taking the crypto world by storm, taking it by force, and I think for good reason. Like, a lot of international communities were on Telegram. When we got into Wax, it was almost all on Telegram, and then started to shift into Discord. But I think maybe not like, I think maybe like America specifically uses Discord a lot for stuff, but I think internationally Telegram is kind of like the go-to for crypto stuff. So like building a blockchain into the app that people use for crypto stuff already, it just like makes it very easy to access all that stuff. And like in America, again, we can't use the Ton wallet, but the Ton wallet, the main one is just built into Telegram. Like, you can just be part of your Telegram account, and I don't think there's like KYC or anything to sign up for it if you're in the right region. So like, you don't need to be a crypto expert. You just need to know how to download that app, which is like pretty huge for ease of onboarding.
This Gotti token is nuts. It's up 150x from like $200 to 3,000.
Each token?
Yeah, each token right now sells for $3,126.
The fuck is that, Ethereum? Like, why are people paying $3,000 for a token called Gotti? Like, my initial reaction would be stay the fuck away from that. That's way too expensive for like a token I've never heard of. But
let's see. It says Gotti is the gold standard of tokens, 420 times more rare than one Bitcoin. Okay. Premier store of wealth on Solana blockchain. Oh, so it's literally just a very limited supply market cap token, it looks like. Max total supply. There is 42,000 of these tokens total. So
personally, though, if I'm going to spend $3,000 on a token, I'm buying Ethereum. I'm not buying Gotti. Like,
yeah,
Ethereum has been tested for years. It is the number 2 token and has been for coming up close to a decade, probably. And this token's probably existed for what, like 2 months? Like, sure, in theory, it's really rare, but that doesn't mean it's tested. I don't know how it's distributed. I don't know who holds what percentage of the supply and who's going to dump it on everybody. Like, Ethereum, I know, is pretty well distributed through lots and lots of users, has so many friggin' use cases. Ethereum is DeFi. Like, is this token the king of DeFi that everybody needs to use as gas? It's not even the gas token for this chain.
The volume also trips me out. If we're looking at this chart, look how high the volume is here when the price is like nothing, like tons of people buying and trading it. And then like since then, these volume candles are basically flat, even all the way up through this huge run. So it's like the vast majority of people bought and traded this token under $200. And now that it's over 3,000, I wouldn't buy into it personally. I feel like I would feel like I missed the boat here. Like, there are options, I suppose, that you could take to, like, I don't know, it gets too complicated. If you like, I would take like a derivative position to try to like basically cover a short or something. That way, if the price falls to my target, then I buy these tokens, and if not, I get paid funding fee from people trading long. But that can get pretty complicated and not necessarily the best idea. But this is raised price action. It's super fun to see this kind of shit.
If you bought in at $200, you're probably doing great right now.
Yeah, awesome. I think if you bought in at $200, my a hard rule I would have here, if you actually went from 200 to 3,000, at the very least, sell out your principal and get back what you started with. Worst case scenario, you break even.
Yuga says he has $60,000 worth. I'd friggin' take that $60,000 in a second, personally. Or I'd take like 50K worth, and if you really want to ride with the rest, like leave some in case it moons more. But that's already assuming you bought in at like $200. Like expecting it to go up that much more is like that's insane. Like that's a lot of money to
Yeah.
have made.
I also wouldn't put much stock into you're saying you looking at the buy and sell here. You can buy and sell from one wallet to another wallet and wash trade to put crazy transaction volume and make it seem like there's a lot of demand on tokens with pretty much impunity and really, really inexpensively on Solana and on many blockchains. I would say I don't really trust on-chain analytics for volume when the volume is, on a meme coins or tokens that recently did 150x. And in general, on a rule of thumb, if you've made 150x on something, please take profit. Like you're even if you just take half of your money off the table now, you'll walk away with like 60 times what you started with, and you'll have 60 times what you initially wanted to expose to this risky position still exposed to the position. There is no um, world in which if you have a $60,000 profit sitting in your wallet, if you would not put $60,000 of your money into those positions today, there's no reason you should keep that money in that position either. But that's how I manage my own risk. It's of course up to you how you like to roll the dice. And if you want to like let it ride and put it all on black, hell yeah, dude. Good luck. I hope it fucking works out because it is really fun too. And everybody has their own kind of like financial situation and needs to make these decisions for themselves. There really isn't a standard to follow, and that's why I say like for me, I have a hard rule where I will follow. If I mean it's not even 1,500%. If I make 300 or 200%, I take out a third. So, for me, I like to protect my principal. I also would never be able to hold through a run like this. That's incredible. Like the fact that you're able to run up 150x without selling. Um, take the win. At some point you do have to like. At some point, it's really impressive until it isn't, because my first time around in crypto, I also, I bought Bitcoin for like $200, and then I wrote it up to like 4,000 or something, and then all the way back down to like 1,000. So it's like you can look like a genius on the way up, but man, it really stings when you're holding onto those bags on the way down too. Let's see.
What's going on,
Let's see.
sir? Me. We're not really like a signal trading.
I'm pissed now.
Like we're not.
Yeah, we're just like
We're not a
looking at
pump
something that
group.
we-
We're not saying what you should buy or not, but we do look at charts and say overall market sentiments.
Yeah, let's see. If I take any out of the main wallet, I'd disqualify myself from all the lobster rewards on that wallet.
Sounds like there's some sort of reward coming in. If you sell anything,
If
you
you
disqualify
never
yourself
lose
from the
your tokens.
reward. But I don't
I
know.
would-
Do you think the reward's going to be
If-
worth a $60,000 gain? Like,
Exactly. That's the whole thing. It's just like I would take the sure thing over the like prospective hype thing. And as someone who's participated in like, NFT gaming and like meme coin pumps and all that stuff in the past, I think you know more than anyone that like the getting is the best when the hype is on. And it isn't necessarily not going to keep climbing, but if you're up 150x, there is very few reward incentive programs that are going to pay you more than 150 times your initial investment for not capitalizing on a gain. It's most likely, like for example, I'll give you an example that I had. I locked tokens into a vested like 4-year position, and a year and a half into that position, the token was up like 400%, not 1,500, 400. And I took a 20% loss, like a penalty to cut the lock and sell the tokens, and I ended up making like 330% after the penalty. And then had I held for the full 4 years, I might have made off with like double what I started with, and I ended up making like quadruple because I capitalized on the moment. And ultimately, there isn't necessarily reward incentive programs that will see you making 1,000% return because of loyalty. Ultimately, I think it's best, in my experience, to take money that's on the table today. A sure thing is a sure thing. That, and $60,000 goes a long way in a stablecoin pool, or even in like a ETH pool right now. Like you can make rent off of simply holding 60K in stablecoins. I know I do, and it doesn't have the risk of tomorrow not being 60K. Which
I just know
yeah, again,
there are times on
also
Wax where I
depends.
could have cashed out like close to that amount of
Yes.
money, and I regret it so hard now sitting on what I'm sitting on. So do what's best for you, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
You should never feel bad about locking in gains just because you can make more money. Like making an insane amount of profit is always good, and you can always do
will.
better. But you can also, the equals to as much as you think you could make. You're like, oh, I could make 10x more. You could also make 10x less. Like, and people don't see the other way. You only see the opportunities. But for as high as the ceiling is, the floor is equally as low. So like, it's actually lower. It can go lower than it can go high, I would say. Maybe that's not true. So there's zero is somewhere, and I guess you could go not infinity, but always keep going up. But more realistically, I think it's likely to go lower than higher for a lot of things.
Here's also the next section of this. Like, if you have 60,000 of that, you're only going to get 50,000 for it right now with slippage. Like, there's no fucking liquidity for this coin. Like, you can't even drop. Like,
Our
20
planet
of
was
them
probably our planet was probably the best like thing for that. Whereas like we could have sold all of our rigs and stuff in our planet for like thousands and thousands of dollars, but we're like, oh, if we keep mining this token, then we can just sell the token, and now we have passive income. We're gonna make $100,000 this year, and then within like 3 months,
Yeah.
all of it crashed. The token, the miners, like all that stuff, and like it was just pretty depressing. Like seeing all the money in our eyes blinded us from the reality that like we're printing like $1,000 a day. Like we should have sold then. Like when the hype is this high, where it's like this doesn't make sense why this is worth so much. And I feel like Bitcoin is the store of value that the crypto market has decided is the store of value token. Pretty much, it is. Like, I don't think anything's ever going to come close to Bitcoin, and especially not some random token on Solana, like not even a layer 1 thing. Like, I don't know. I've been wrong about a lot of shit on Solana, but I would guess there's no way that thing holds its value.
I think to speak to that point, I would say don't don't miscalculate the value of first mover advantage. Like, yeah, there's better things than Bitcoin. And yeah, Bitcoin's open source. Anyone can copy paste it and deploy it themselves. But that doesn't mean it's going to outperform Bitcoin. Doesn't mean any of it ever will overtake Bitcoin. And because Bitcoin has that first mover advantage and it has the established market share, it's really difficult, even when you have a better product, to take market share for something that's established. And like Bitcoin doesn't have to be the best thing on the market, just doesn't have to like be broken. As long as it works baseline for how it should function, it'll be very hard to dethrone. I would also say Bitcoin struggles to like update itself. And without getting too crazy into the technical reasons why I think that, I would just leave it at the 100% unilateral ability to upgrade the Bitcoin blockchain is in the hands of Bitcoin miners. And the mining community is an industry that profits from the status quo of Bitcoin. So from the Bitcoin the way that it currently is. And so when you put the ability to improve the network into the hands of an industry that makes its profit from the status quo of that network, so from the network not changing and improving, there's definitely a strange conflict of interest as far as creating the best tech. And with that in mind, I am into several crypto projects that I think are better than Bitcoin at like self-governance but ultimately like Bitcoin's king and Bitcoin is going to stay king.
All right, let's rotate topics a little bit. I don't know if you're still in the chat. Sir Me joined. He said, do you do your trades live so we can copy? We do live trades every week on the Wax blockchain. So it's Wax Wednesday. And every week we do them. And yes, you can follow us if you want. Not financial advice. But we have done a pretty good job at making more Wax, which is our goal here. We have an NFT collection on the WaxP blockchain, which is where we started. So we teach people how to do DeFi on Wax. And a lot of people in Wax are collectors. So it's like, because we do DeFi stuff on other chains, Max especially, he has knowledge in how to do those things and is pretty good at it. And then Max will also talk about, like, I think you said it earlier, like he's going short if the market does specific things, and we don't like really bet on new tokens as much. Like I'd say Max does most of his trading as like leverage trades against blue chip tokens and trying to trade those tokens rather than trying to bet on the next upcoming thing that's going to like 1,000%. So like you're not going to find us like trade calling like, hey, here's some new token on Solana. We're going to jump into it with all of our money. Follow us. It's more like Bitcoin's going this way or this way, and we're going to try to capitalize on that. Is I would say more of what you can learn from this stream.
Here you can kind of see what I have if you want to see my actual position. Right here, this is on GMX, Bitcoin, US dollar. You can see right there on the chart at 60,400. I am that's basically the retest top. I'm looking to short sell. And so if you see that, there is orders there. Short 25,000. So point. Let's not say it in Bitcoin. 0.3535 Bitcoin is waiting to short sell at this price, and I'm using like no leverage. So this is like a 1x short. And so when this triggers short, what this would do is effectively, I'll take my Bitcoin here, it would do 0.3535 Bitcoin at 1x leverage short sold. And so, and I think, yeah, this is how I'm doing it. And so at this point, what this position would have basically no liquidation price. You see it's over $1 million per Bitcoin, so very unlikely to be liquidated because my collateral in this scenario is also Bitcoin. So basically what happens in a position like this, which is worth what, $25,600, when this strike price hits, this position will open and it will be worth $25,600. And if the price of Bitcoin keeps going up, the amount of Bitcoin as collateral, the 0.3535 Bitcoin, that will go down as the price goes up, but my dollar value will always stay 25,600. So if the price of Bitcoin then falls, which is what I'm expecting with this short sell, then my value of my short sell would stay at 25,600, but the amount of Bitcoin that is would increase. Now, when a position like that is open, it also would be earning me or costing me basically funding fees. So right now it looks like that position would cost close to 9% APR, or whatever this percentage here is. So generally when I keep, and then so I guess I have the second order here is for Ethereum. So if I go to Ethereum, I have the similar thing going on there. Ethereum, and then here's the short. So at 33.25, like kind of up here, halfway through the last like fall off. I'm on the 5-minute chart. Go to the 4-hour chart though. Here you can see. There you go. Here you can kind of see same deal. Short. I'm waiting to go short. There is for the Ethereum trade. There is 4 ETH or something. 3.5 ETH waiting to sell short. And again, 1x leverage. I have my trigger price set, and so I'm just like waiting for the market to come back up, hit these prices. And then, once they keep falling down and we do see that we're getting rejected on the 4-hour, then I will set like stop losses in profit so that if the market turns around, then my short sells close and they'll close back into Bitcoin and Ethereum spot. So this is basically a way for me to grow how much Bitcoin and Ethereum I have without ever selling the Bitcoin or Ethereum or really buying more. All I'm doing is short selling it with its own collateral on the way down and then holding it as spot on the way up. But yeah, that can be more complicated than what we do on this stream because it gets pretty. Actually, if you want to get into like really complicated shit, just hit me up in Discord. I love this kind of stuff. But yeah, let's look at what we want to do with our wallet since we haven't actually touched it this week. Let's see what happened since last week. We have 100 wax that we started with a little over a year and a half ago, coming up on 2 years, I think. And we've been cooking with this 100 wax in the Wax DeFi ecosystem, participating in farming and, generally just farming liquidity pools for rewards and then trying to grow our wax. So let's take a look how it's done. I'm going to go to the Earn tab. We're mostly over here on Alcor, and it looks like we are in Wax Booty and
We're gonna do a
Wax.
giveaway real quick. Is that okay? Before we get
Yeah, let's do it. Before you do that though, just first look at our wax booty pool. We're at 52 wax again. We started with 51. So after 2 weeks, we're up 2 wax just in liquidity, and we haven't even checked our rewards yet. GG.
All right. This is a giveaway for the Woof token, which is a meme.
It's still sharing my screen.
No, it's not.
Oh wait, now it's switched on. I was looking at the Twitch. I think it's why it's delayed.
That's why I gave you the screen share thing.
I
You
was
should look
on
at
the wrong
that. It'll be
tab.
live.
I
Anyway,
was on the wrong tab because I copied the link on the chat.
this is a meme token that was founded on the Wax blockchain. Allegedly, rumors are it's made by the team who runs this blockchain. We cannot neither confirm nor deny that. They haven't publicly ever said that. But there's speculation that's what it is. And then this chain is bridgeable to the Base blockchain. It is bridgeable to the Solana blockchain, and it is going to be bridgeable to the Ton blockchain, which we went over earlier. So it kind of connects Wax to a bunch of different ecosystems, which I think is super cool, which I feel like is like more utility than 99% of meme coins, like being a multi-bridge token that also connects like multiple layer ones. So like
that's the main thing. Yeah.
Wax is its own layer one, Solana is its own layer one, and
these are different fundamental chains. They're not just like, oh, it goes between like Arbitrum and Base and all these layer 2 Ethereum chains that already communicate. No, it's going between chains that don't already communicate, like Solana and Ton and Base and Wax. Like all 4 of those chains don't have direct links. That's a huge deal. Big fan.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool. And oh shit, I need to move the chat bot. We are a partner collection with them, so obviously we're a little bit biased, but they give us free Woof to give away to promote the project. I don't know. We've never really like told people to ape in and buy it. We mostly said the opposite, like try to get it for free and then use the free amount that you get to do stuff with.
We said sell half on day 1 and then put it in the LP, which is what we also did. And it went really well, although I guess just holding it might have gone better.
Yeah, it's honestly
all of my wax into it been the best move, but whatever.
It's outperformed my expectations by a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's pretty cool. We'll do more giveaways, Surmi. If your friend misses this one, this won't be the only giveaway. We'll do more, so don't worry about it too hard.
And if you do get it, then you'll get your million Woof. You can bridge them over to Solana, and then you can participate in that insane thing that what was it called? Goatee?
Gotti token. But yeah, this
you can ask how to mess with it.
The one we're giving away is on the Wax blockchain, so you do need a Wax blockchain wallet.
Yes, that's true.
It's pretty easy to sign up for, though. I think you just need like a Google account and then maybe like 5 Wax or something. So if you've never used Wax before and you win and would like to try it out, MaxRai can help people sign up if like I'm willing to put down the like 5 Wax or whatever to make you a wallet if you want to sign up for a wallet and then receive it and then play around with Wax.
If you win and you're absolutely like against it, I have Woofy on Base chain. I'll take your Woofy on Wax and I'll send it to you on Base if you prefer that. Although I don't have any on Solana.
Yeah, got no problem helping people sign up for Wax Wallet. I feel like that's our job, and the goal of also having all this cross-blockchain stuff.
I'll also make you a wallet with a custom name .ftw if you want.
What's
that's for anyone.
Stream thing we use? Streamlabs.
I'll go ahead.
My bot always gets broken. Gotta fix the bot so we can do our Discord. So if people want to contact us after this, you will be able to. Log in with Twitch.
I'm impressed, Trepnug, that it hasn't tanked, honestly. But and then again, I think the team behind it, which is speculated to be Wax, but I'm not sure who it is, seems to absolutely have like some deep pockets and have the ability to get centralized exchange listings and partnerships that result in AAA tier blockchain bridges like Solana. So the team behind the token definitely can get things done and has gotten quite a bit done in much faster order than I would have expected from from the beginning at least. And honestly, if it is the Wax team, they're doing it faster than they've done any of their other projects. So way to fucking go. The team behind Woofy is doing a good job, I think.
Are you doing anything on AVAX? Somebody asked us earlier. Which, like, I think, like, didn't, like, DeFi Kingdom move over to AVAX for one of their servers? And then I think, like, Tops also might have done an AVAX bridge. Like, projects that I'm involved with have bridged over there, but I've never actually followed the bridge. It's just like an ETH layer 2, right?
Yeah, it's a layer 1 still. So AVAX is its own layer 1, and then it's like there's a C chain and a B chain, and it's a little bit of a confusing infrastructure, but everyone using it is using the C chain, and the C chain is like an Ethereum layer 2.
This is you're asking about a Wax wallet. It's mycloudwallet.com. I'll post the link into here. And then you should be able to, if you say like create accounts, you can log in with a social. You can use an email, or you can use like Facebook, Gmail, Twitter, Reddit, or Steam. I've heard that the Facebook login is messed up, so I would not recommend using the Facebook login. But I use just Gmail, because Gmail is something where it's like I know I'm going to have access to my Gmail account.
If you're using one of your Gmail burner emails, be sure that you are active on that email at least once a year, because the people have had issues where they made accounts with this and using an email that then Gmail deleted their access to the email because it was inactive, and then they lost their wallet access. So just make sure you're using an email that you actually use somewhat frequently-ish.
I just use my one that I use for gaming and stuff. I've got one email that I pretty much use for all my crypto stuff and like all my crypto games.
Same. Max 2 Bitcoin.
Mine is PolishDog90 at Gmail.
Nice.
It's not my main one though, because my main one is my like the one I use for like sound work, and then also has like YouTube Premium and stuff. PolishDog is kind of my backup. I use it for spam shit too. Like whenever I'm signing up for something where like, oh, they're just gonna spam me with emails I don't want to read, that goes to PolishDog. Paka's grub exploding.
I'm definitely dead. I see a red spot. I already died. Yeah, I'm definitely. I guess we'll look at what we've done with our Wax wallet, because we're pretty heavy in Woof, because trying to make some more Wax. Woof has been a really solid play. Just like let's see what's the comment. Scron was saying he sold his for 34K right on drop day, and it's worth 70K now. Yep. That's kind of like, I think I got airdropped like maybe 2 billion, and I sold like for like
Drew Marr is the champion. We'll give away to top 3 for this one. 3 million for first, 2 million for second, 1 million for third place. And that will be our Woof giveaway. Then we'll open it up for another one after this.
Congratulations. Good win. 3 million's a nice win. That's like
$3.
It's like $1.
$3.
$3. Damn. That would have been like
$1
$1
worth
when
$1.
we started. Damn, dude, it's coming up.
It's been around $1 for a few weeks now. It's also like not really dropping, with like Ether's going down a lot more than Woof has in the last couple weeks. 2 million. Oops, that 1, 2, 3, 6, and then 1 million will go to who is our third? Optic Red Rum got 2 million, and Mahala, shout out Mahala, is gonna get 1 million. Is that a raid? What is that? Raid from Veerman with 1 viewer. Welcome, 1 viewer. We're super glad you're here.
Welcome.
Also, thanks for the raid, Veerman.
Welcome.
What was I gonna do? Our Twitch prize wallets. Mahala's such an OG. Doesn't have to type in his wallet. The only thing that looks kind of weird to me in dark mode is spreadsheets. For some reason, don't look right to me in dark mode. I have this like dark mode plugin on. Almost everything else I prefer dark mode. I guess I could toggle it off.
I think the grid should be a little more pronounced in dark mode. Like it's lost.
You can also, like this thing, I can just toggle it off if I want. Kind of like it on still. I also use my screen a lot at night, and I feel like at night it like burns my eyes if everything's in white mode. Okay, here's Mahala's wallet. and then we'll go to the Wax Wednesday portion of the stream. And yeah, the purpose of this has always been to earn more wax, not to earn more US dollars necessarily. So if you are trying to follow our moves, know that that is our goal. And if your goal is to make more dollars, then trying to follow our moves might not be in your best interest. But we do this publicly. We only touch the wallet once a week, so you can see anything we do every week.
Yeah, it's only live on air too. So like we'll only show. Oh, hold on, I gotta add my exclamation point neon so I can be in the next race.
Jeremy says I need 5 wax. What?
Oh, what's the memo? I can send 5 wax.
Yeah, if you give us.
Or-
You can also. Here's our Discord. If you want to join our Discord, you can message Neon Max or Neon Lewis, and we can send you the. Like we'll need an address to send the wax to, and then a memo, I believe, and that will create your account. But sounds like people here are down too. In the chat it says, "What's the addy in the memo?" It tells you. Memo equals.
Nice.
We also need the address too, though.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot to say also the address. Obviously, I'm too deep in this stuff. I just think everything's like, oh yes, of course. Obviously, you would send this and this and this and this.
It's newuser.wax. That makes sense.
Derp always is.
Are you gonna send it, Max?
Yeah, I can send it.
So it's
Unless someone being-
newuser.wax, and then later, Scron. Thanks for joining us. And now we stream 3 days a week. We stream Wednesday through Friday, usually like 2 p.m. ish, 5 p.m. Pacific time. But are you doing anything tomorrow, Max? Or are you busy for 4th?
Tomorrow. I don't remember if we're doing like some kind of.
I guess either way,
I want.
I'm down the stream even if Max doesn't. So I'll be streaming tomorrow. I've got no plans for the 4th of July. I am going to grill myself a burger, but that doesn't have to be during stream time.
Nice. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna on my wallet. I'm just gonna send this. You could share my screen if you want to see how I'm doing it too.
I got some.
Yep.
I got some sick onion buns. I got onion buns. I got frozen meat patties. I got myself some spicy pickles. I got some. What do they call it? Like the butter something lettuce. I feel like those are good for burgers. I'm pretty excited though.
Oh yeah.
I cooked one last night as a kind of test, but I feel like tomorrow I'm gonna do some. I might cook 2 burgers. I might go double. I feel like that's too many for a day, but it's America Day. It's all about over consuming. Overconsumption is the most American thing there is. So tomorrow I'm just gonna eat burgers, eat potato chips, probably stream.
There we go. All right, so
Maybe we can watch some like firework fails tomorrow too. I feel like there's got to be some good 4th of July fail videos out there.
here it is. 5 wax sent from this to newuser.wax with. Okay, so now if I go, I feel like this is your wallet now, right? Wait, is it .c.wham?
I said by wham a
Few
few seconds
seconds
ago.
ago.
That seems right.
There's-
So then,
Yeah.
oh yeah, now there he goes. He entered our competition with ohaq4.c.wham. So, and now if you win, we'll send Woof to that wallet. We will probably. Does it have any stake to it? Like when you create one, does it use any of that wax to stake, or is it like completely zeroed? Yeah,
It
maybe like
looks
stake a little bit of wax to it. It has 0 wax for CPU.
Let me stake some wax to your wallet too, then.
That way you can actually trade the Woof if you get it. Do something with it.
Yeah, account.
And I believe we pay the RAM if we send you Woof. Like we have to pay for the table to be opened.
Stake CPU.
There's also there's a bunch of other Wax streamers. We'll probably raid into one after this, but Wax is really cool about like giving away free NFTs and giveaways and stuff through streams. So the Wax community, worth checking out their other streams if you're interested in getting like free NFTs and stuff. Actually, let me post. There's a Discord that was just made that has like all the Wax streamers, the Wax Stream Station. We post in there every time we go live, and we also post in our own Discord. But
There we go. I staked by others, 10 wax. You now have resources to make transactions with this wallet. Oh, I guess I should buy you some RAM too, huh?
second day of a 48-hour stream. That's too much streaming. Wax Stream Station Discord.
How much wax do I even have in this wallet now? 2. Okay, 2.4. I can buy WAC. I can buy RAM with that. Buy RAM. Buy it for this wallet. Wax.
It used to be you could make a wax wallet for free. They definitely surprised you guys didn't get an hour for what? What would we get an hour for?
There we go. Resources. You are good to go. You got some RAM. You got some wax.
It used to be, I thought they were going to change it back that you can make an account for free. Now that like they made it so you have to spend wax for transactions, they were going to like take that away because like the reason they didn't before is you could make an account for free and you would have some free CPU every day. And people are just using it to bot farm shit. So they're like, this is hurting our ecosystem more than helping it, which is why they now make you pay to make an account. But because now they changed it so like you have to spend wax for transactions if you have none, that's supposed to make like stop the bots because they'll have to buy wax and then use wax, which would then burn wax from the ecosystem, the transaction fees. But I don't know. It seems like they haven't hit that step yet where they're making it free to onboard people. But that was like honestly, if you had to source wax to get into wax, I might have never gotten into wax back when like Alien Worlds was happening. It would have been like, oh, I have to like go to an exchange and buy this shit just to like be able to play this game I want to play. But
Definitely
yeah, I don't know.
behind the times on recording, like Rockman was saying. But now that you're in, it's a lot easier once you actually have an account that's
on the
working,
Vegas
so,
stream, Random King, they did hit us up. I forgot to hit them back, to be honest. That's on us. That is not on them. They said we could be guests on that like big marathon stream they were doing. So blame me for that. Do not blame them because we were actually in talks. And I actually talked to Max about it. I was like, hey, like they're doing this thing and want us to be guests potentially. Yeah. But yeah, I just got lost in my Discord DM. So that is my bad. And they did offer us a spot on it to be a part of the stream. So our bad, my bad specifically. But
sorry.
No hate to them.
You'll have to come see us on our own stream.
My schedule's been pretty crazy lately. I've been waking up really late. Although last night I went to bed, I think, before 4 a.m. yesterday, which is pretty big for me. I've been staying up till like 7 a.m. all the other friggin' days, which was not good. Going to sleep like after the sun rises just doesn't feel right. So hopefully I continue to trend in the normal life living direction and not the degen direction.
Go back to wax really quick here. I want to look at wax chart really quick before we look at our wax DeFi. So last week we were looking, this is the weekly chart. Last week we were looking at the daily chart for wax like this. We had hit our kind of like low point here, and we're thinking like, okay, it's probably not gonna like shit the bed a whole lot more. It's pretty much on the floor. This purple line has been like the floor marker for our bear market for like 2 years at this point. So we finally hit that marker again 2 weeks ago. We've been hovering around it. We have now been closing days below it. So we really need to retake this one. This is the unbalanced volume too, by the way. So you can see falling unbalanced volume with falling prices, generally what you'd expect in a bearish trend. You know, when we were looking at expecting a breakout here on the weekly, you can see we do have a rising unbalanced volume with a falling price trend. So this is more of a accumulation indicator than a like, you know, keep dumping us into infinity. Basically, if on the weekly we were seeing this sell-off coupled with a sell-off in the unbalanced volume, I'd be a lot more worried. Let's look at a few of the other exchanges that have that metric. So on Binance, similar deal. On the weekly chart, we're getting, you know, climbing unbalanced volume. Daily chart. Let's look at that. Yeah, here, look at that on the daily chart as well. Climbing unbalanced volume with falling price action, spot price action. Generally, that's divergence indicating accumulation. So this is something that could result in a kind of aggressive breakout when we do finally fucking break out. Fingers crossed on this. I'm going to look at a couple more exchanges. So OKX.
Oh, I don't know if we talked about this last week. This is a little off topic, but I think it happened after our stream. But Tether on EOS is probably not going to be a thing anymore. Tether basically announced like not enough people use Tether on. It was EOS and what was the other blockchain? Like the
EOS and
There's one we used like a
no, with
long time ago. Let me go to our crypto channel,
yeah.
but basically there's like a year. They're like, you can trade it 1-to-1 to $1 for the next year, but they will not mint any more. There will be no new tether on EOS. And let me find this thing that I posted.
volume making
Algorand. Algorand is the other blockchain. There will be no more
Algorand,
tether
yeah.
on. But they didn't say they'll stop. They said they'll stop minting it, and they said Tether will continue to redeem USDT on EOS and Algorand as usual for the next 12 months. Further changes may be evaluated and announced around that time. So for sure for the next 12 months, and then after 12 months, they could be like, hey, you got 3 months to redeem this or your shit's garbage. So that will definitely affect the Wax ecosystem as far as a lot of our DeFi is built around Tether on EOS. And I hit up Lucas, the what's his position? He's
not the OIG. He's the
he's like the technical
CTO.
CTO,
right?
Chief of Technical Operations or something. I don't know. I'm not good at business shit, but I hit him up because he's one of our he's not super active like in the Wax chats, but every time I ever DM Lucas, he always responds. So like I was like, hey, this is a big deal. Like I basically suggested they should make a bridge for USDC from Base Chain. And then when I told him that, he said we will add USDC from Solana, which I believe is also native. So they're already working on a bridge because they have the Solana bridge up for Wolf. I guess they're also working on a bridge now for USDC from Solana. So it's, I don't know. I like Base Chain better than Solana, but it's like an equal solution. And also, they can get it up quick enough, like just move all the money from Tether into Solana, and then boom, we still have a stablecoin on Wax. So kind of crisis averted.
Like part of that news is also like it shines a light on how tight or like not deep the liquidity of USDT is in general on EOS. And I feel like it would be nice to have an avenue into like a deeper stablecoin ecosystem. So it'd be nice if we had a bridge into like stablecoin liquidity where there's hundreds of millions of dollars available on the other side, and then you could possibly see some of that flowing into like our ecosystem here on Wax. But yeah, that was definitely a big deal. I think. I'm still looking at these different markets, but yeah, I think in general, like Tether has been getting kind of beat down lately, especially by like regulatory oversight kind of like bodies. I think the European Union also has cracked down in recent months on stablecoin categorizations and what is and isn't legal within European nations. And as of right now, I think Circle's USDC and EURC, which is a euro version of USDC, basically, are the only compliant stablecoins within the new EU regulation as well. So it's possible that we see a little bit of Tether also being migrated off of on DeFi products that service European clients. So it's assumed protocols like Angle, I imagine would deviate from holding their treasury in USDT into like moving it into USDC, for example. But yeah, looking at Wax though, we do have like a sense of a climbing on balance volume while we are seeing this kind of depressing price action that we've been seeing over the last few weeks. I'm gonna turn off my, or no, I'm not. I guess yeah, looking at that price. So looking at it now on the weekly again. The weekly actually is looking pretty not great after this last few weeks clothing, dropping us below the band and flipping to bearish. Basically we need to see this play out as a deviation, which would be like where we get a drop rather than a bounce on our support line. We would get a dip below that support line that's relatively short-lived. So within the next 2 or 3 weeks, we should see this close back above the strength band, so above 4.5 cents, if we're going to see a weekly deviation play out, which would then basically constitute a SR flip still. So instead of having just a bounce on support and then, basically confirming that it is in fact support and no longer resistance. That is considered our SR flip and our confirmation of a trend. So a deviation could also be that. It's just that right now it isn't a deviation. Right now it's just failing the trend line. So this is like the area where, especially on lower time frames, it's easy to get bear trapped. It's much less likely to see a big deviation like this playing out on a weekly chart, like we're currently on the weekly chart. Generally, deviations like that are like daily or 4-hour trends, but it's not impossible to see them playing out here. So this isn't necessarily, oh, we're definitely going to drop lower, but it also isn't bullish. So Wax doesn't look super bullish, but just like last week, we've been beat down to the ground already, and basically have revisited the all-time lows of the previous bear market, and that includes like the day that like Luna and UST all collapsed, and FTX and all those huge events. So we're basically making the same low price points as we did then, while our on balance volume is still climbing. So with that in mind, and the fact that Wax is becoming more interconnected with these other blockchains through all the Woofy bridges, which I'm gonna have to attribute a little bit to Wax, personally, just because I do assume that like part of the Wax team at least has a hand in the Woofy project. If they're not behind it themselves, it's all speculation, of course. But with that kind of speculative prospect, as well as with the fact that we've seen Wax basically selling off to its all-time kind of like lows, while last time we visited these lows, you can see on my blue chart down here on this on balance volume, the last time the price was around the same area, the on balance volume, which is the money within this market, was a lot lower. So last time we were here, you can see our on balance volume hovering around like 110 $120 million or something. Now we've revisited the same price points again, but our unbalanced volume is hovering around $200 million, so almost double. Generally speaking, that is a more of a bullish sign than anything else, because we're getting a divergence, we're getting a falling spot price and a climbing on balance volume. That sort of divergence generally points to accumulation. It's still hard to say, because Wax is a relatively immature market, and so some of these technical analysis indicators are going to be a little less reliable, because obviously less mature markets are more volatile and will do kind of like whatever the hell they want. Either way, I still don't think I'm going to try and dump all my Wax. So this week, what I want to do with my Wax holdings, going back over to Alcor, with our 100 Wax wallet, we've been on Alcor for most of these positions, and this week we have 3 pools farming. We have Tools and Woof, which we jumped into last week with just our Woofy rewards. So this was one I remember we jumped into this because it had a really high APR in the farm. So let's actually look at the farm. And then we're also in Wax Booty Wax and Wax Woof. And then again, Wax Booty Wax, we started with 50 Wax, so 100 Wax total, a bilateral liquidity depth. And we're doing that from 0 to infinity on all 3 of these pools. So when you set your range to the full range of 0 to infinity like this, then both sides of the token are equal to each other. So we know that 52 Wax on this side of the Wax Booty pool, that means that this amount of Wax Booty tokens is worth 52 Wax. So we can very quickly look at this and be like, okay, cool, this one position is worth like 104 Wax. This
Wax
one
Booty
here
is
worth, like,
also, for anybody wondering, Wax Booty is a token that you can earn for watching Captain Degen, I believe his name, or Degen Andy,
yeah.
maybe on Discord. But Captain Degen's a Twitch streamer, and he has like an earn to watch mechanism where you can earn booty for watching his stream, I believe. And he also is incentivizing, because he's a Woof partner, he's incentivizing his Wax Booty pool with the Woof he's getting as a partner, so that's how you can earn from that.
Yeah,
But
so
if
here's
you want to
Wax
try to get that
Booty.
token without buying it directly, you can farm it from watching a stream. From my understanding, I don't watch his stream very often, but I think that's sort of how it works. He has a really interactive bunch of stuff going on the stream.
Yeah, and then Tools was one that we jumped into last week, also because at the time it had an insane APR. I think it was like 2,000%. So that's clearly come down. We're at 140% APR, still massive. You can see our wax booty APR is still holding over 200, which, considering the fact that we started with 100 wax and now it's been 2 weeks and we're at 104 wax, so effectively, just the liquidity has gone up about 4% just from being in the liquidity pool, but we've also been earning 246% in woof. This is really great, and I'm gonna definitely stick around here. This has kind of just been cooking. This wax tool or this tools woof one, I'm still unfamiliar with it, but at 140% and it being funded fully by just our woofy rewards, I'm cool just like continuing to pile into that. And then here's our wax woof, and it's pulling a modest 11% APR. But a big part of why we like to stick around in wax woof is because looking at the pool, woof has outperformed wax pretty consistently over the past quarter or so. Here, I'm gonna go to Wax on Edge. If you're unfamiliar, on Edge, Wax on Edge is a trade aggregator for Wax blockchain. So you can trade basically here. If you see, there's Alcor, there's Taco, there's DeFi Box, and there's ADEX. So all of these different swap protocols are being looked at by Wax on Edge, and when you come here to swap, you just have a single swap interface, and you can make your trade. Like for example, if I wanted to trade, Wolf into tools, it would make me a trade, and then if you scroll down, you can see, okay, where is it doing this trade? Wolf into Buzz on Taco, and then Buzz into Tool also on Taco. But it's finding me the best deal across not just Taco Swap, but Taco Swap, Alcor, and that Alcor, that includes the swap and the spot market. So the actual like limit orders waiting to fill, it will also fill through this tool. And then ADEX, DeFi Box, and then here the Alcom, this is the spot market. So it's literally looking at everything that has liquidity on Wax to give us a chance to kind of like get the best deal automatically, which is really nice. And then last week we put our woofy into this, and you can see it's actually gone relatively well, I believe. So let's see if we want to keep doing this. So I'm looking at, I might have to flip this. No, I guess flipping it won't change it. But tools in terms of woof. So it dropping means that we're actually making more woof, since it's woof in terms of tool is what we're looking at. So now if we go back to what we have in here, you can see, for example, our tool and woof pool, we've earned 11 tools and 262 woof just from the trading fees from being in this pool. And then you can see we still have, before we even factored this in, we have just in liquidity 349,000 woof. If we look at our wallet here, DeFi1.ftw, last week when we made this pool, we only put in 300,141 woof. So we're actually up in terms of woof by almost 49,000 just for having sat in this pool. And then on top of that, if we go to the farm, we've also earned another 30,000. So it's almost 60,000 more woof because we put it into this pool versus if we had just held the woof from last week. So I'm happy with this. I'm going to continue this. And looks like we have a runway for it to continue paying us 140% APR for the next 83 days. All of our pools actually have a decent runway. And based on what's been happening with Wax, I really like our exposure right now. Like we're exposed to Woof, which is, and we're farming Woof pretty aggressively with all our positions. And then we're exposed to Wax in a pool that's actually, holding its own really, really well for the last 2 weeks, and also paying an absurd APR. So like I said, we started with 100 wax when we jumped into this pool. We currently have 104 wax, as you can see. And that's again without me even claiming this 0.07 wax. We have 52.9, so that's almost 106 wax worth of bilateral depth now. So we made a little bit of wax on that front. And when you look at the farm rewards too now, because this pool pays 200%. There's going to be pretty substantial, 200,000 woof on top of all that. Really solid. And then, of course, our wax woof pool is also paying. And look at that. We have substantially more liquidity in wax woof than we do in wax booty. But wax booty is paying us way more of a reward because obviously, 11% of our total in this pool, which, is much more, is 500 something wax, which take that in as well because we started with just 100 wax. So looking at there's over 600 wax in this wallet right now. We're more than 6x what we started with, and it's been less than 2 years. And all we're doing is basically this stuff, and the only time we're doing it is live on stream on Wednesday. So what we're going to do this Wednesday is maintain these positions, and the first thing I want to do is claim all here, which is going to give me all of the trading fees between all these different pools that we've been farming. So after claiming all on that button, you can see when I now click on any of these pools and maximize them, you can see here the wax booty fees and the wax fees have been claimed. They're no longer waiting in my wallet. The other thing that I also wanted to point out here, when I checked last week when we deposited into this pool, this is that transaction on the blockchain. You can also see the only other thing that happened last week is after we finished doing the transactions on the 26th, we were airdropped woof tokens from this is Wax on Edge. So for using the Wax on Edge swap, the following day after using it, you actually get airdropped woof tokens. So we actually got dropped like almost 300 woof just for making the swaps that we make every time we do this. And we'll do that again today. But I just wanted to point out, this is the only thing that happens when we're not actually on stream, is we're getting airdropped stuff for the stuff we did on stream, which is really cool. Anyway, the next step in this wallet's harvest here, now that we've harvested the trade fees, is I'm going to go over to the farms tab, and there's a claim all button up here. Claim all rewards. So there we go. I'm going to click that as well. And sign. All right. So last week, I put all of our farmed wax into this tools woof pool, and it's done relatively well. This wax booty pool is paying better and holding up pretty freaking well as well. So I'm kind of tempted to migrate from tools into wax booty, mostly because I don't even know what tools is, and the only reason we jumped into it was because it had an insane APR. So let's see really quick by toggling here, is there other even more insane APRs for us to ape into this week, or should we stick with what we have? Okay, there we go. I've just untoggled that, and now let's see, scroll through. Oh no, I hit refresh and now it's chugging along a little bit. Bear with me while it loads. And I guess we can also check, like, there's other LP farms on Wax, and it's always worth taking a look. So let's take a look at Taco Swap. Although in the past few weeks we haven't really found anything on Taco Swap that we wanted to ape into, that doesn't mean there won't be anything today. Let's see. If we go to the meal tab here on the top, that is going to be showing us where our liquidity rewards are paid out to. And then if we go here to highest APR, we can see here's the SOAR APR. And then we have to basically find a token pair that feels like tokens that we at least kind of know or feel relatively confident with, or the APR has to be absolutely insane, like last week where we saw it over 2,000%, which we're not seeing that. So now it has to basically be a token pair that we feel comfortable holding for a week. Wombat I like, but I don't know what Terror is. None of these are jumping out at me as anything I'm familiar with. USDT I know, but what? I'm not sure about this one, especially considering this is the token reward you're getting paid. So, I'm always wary of joining a pool where it's printing basically the pooled token at over 300% APR. Here we go, woof. And now that we're down to like 200%, I feel like this is around what we're making already in our Wax booty pool. So I don't know. None of these are jumping out at me for this week. So going back over at our Alcor farm, I think the move is going to be most likely to stick to what we have. I'm going to scroll through really quick and see if we find anything
Random
that
King
might
said
be.
the price of wax booty should go up. He burned some this morning, and then Buzz King said, yeah, and people have been using wax booty for the raffle tickets too. I guess you can get raffle
Yeah.
tickets with the token.
Okay, you know what? With that, so you guys know more about this token than I do, but all I need to know is we've been in here for 2 weeks. It's held its own with Wax. It's actually climbed against Wax while Wax has not been doing super well, but still, like, it's held its own, which is great. And it's producing almost double what the Tools pool is. So just based on that alone, I'm going to migrate from Tools Woof into Wax Booty Wax. And so next week we'll just do these 2 pools. So in order to do that, I'm going to first go back to my Pools tab. I'm going to open up the Tools Wax pool, and I'm going to scroll down here and just say remove. It's automatically on 100%. So the remove is going to also, it's going to claim all my fees from the farm and from the pool. So if I didn't actually claim those fees, those 2 sets of fees that I've already claimed, this removal transaction would have done all that in a single go. Okay, and now what I want is I want to basically double down whatever I have in my wallet into this here. So I already have a position set to infinite range. And so what I'm going to do is just say increase liquidity. And now in a separate tab, I'm going back over to Wax on Edge, which I think is here. Here? Yep, here it is. And let me make sure this is my wallet. Yes. Okay. So now I need Wax, Booty, and Wax. And I feel like the easiest way to do this is actually to move what I have in Tools and in Woof and whatever into Wax, and then just swap it into Wax Booty 50-50. Rather than do a bunch of math between the different tokens that I now have, because I currently have Wax Booty, Wax, Tools, and Woof. I don't have to do a bunch of math, so I'm going to start here with Tools. And the really cool thing about using something like Wax on Edge is I can go from Tools directly into Wax, and it's still going to route my trade, Tools through Woof to Wax and Tools to Wax, and split that route, in a way that still is the most beneficial for me. So this is an easy one to use. I'm always using Wax on Edge. So now for doing this swap, which I wanted to do anyway, just to balance my pool, I'm gonna get kickback rewards paid in Woofy tomorrow. So I'll get an airdrop. Any day that you use Wax on Edge to make a swap, you will qualify for the following day's airdrop. And I think those airdrops are ongoing for at least the rest of the year. It's definitely an ongoing thing that Wapaka is doing for this. Also, if you see Wapaka around, he's the dev behind this guy. Okay, so I'm gonna swap my Woof. Also, look at that 19 and a half wax in 1 week worth of like this Woof. Although, I guess that includes last week's Woof because we also just emptied our Woof tools pool. Okay, last thing, I'm gonna drop down here again and see what else do we have. Wax Booty I can keep. Honey, Honey had a big pump not too long ago. This might actually be worth something. Not a big pump, but it's also come back down. So we were talking about this like last week too when it had pumped up. We were saying it's a good opportunity to sell some honey as it had hit a new all-time high.
Wapaka said there's enough Woof for more than a year for incentives on Wax on Edge.
And yeah, just like I showed, the only other thing we didn't do on stream last week was the following days we got airdropped Woof for using Wax on Edge, and you can even see here Wax on Edge. You got your airdrop. So basically, it's my understanding that the way it works is that every day there's a set amount of Woof tokens that are going to be distributed to everybody who uses Wax on Edge that day. And so, however, I'm doing kind of small transactions here, I guess. If you consider, like 19 wax or so to be a small transaction. But however many total transactions volume-wise happen on Wax on Edge in one day, my 19 wax worth of that volume is going to get proportional share of that day's airdrop. And so every day there is a fixed number of tokens going out. and the amount of transacting that you do isn't directly related to how much token you're getting. It's based on how much everybody else is also transacting on that day and how much you are contributing to that day's total share of volume. But you don't really have to understand it that in depth. All you need to know is if you use Wax on Edge to make your swap instead of using, say Alcor, Taco Swap, or DeFi Box or whatever, this will still give you the exact same price or a better price and give you Woofy tokens kickbacked. So that's an easy sell. So now we have 30 wax that we got from unwinding those positions. I'm going to just come up here and I'm just going to click this convenient little 50% button and swap that into the counterpart, which is going to be Wax Booty. And then one more time, I want to take a look at how it's routing this. And okay, yeah, this is a pretty straightforward route, but you can see this is going to be exactly the same as if I would just do this on Alcor. But now I'm also sure that there isn't a better deal somewhere else. So swap this. Swapped. And now last step in our process here, we're gonna go back to my pools under earn pools, and then Wax Booty Wax, and then increase liquidity in the top here. And then I'm gonna say max on my Wax Booty side, which should automatically pull the counterpart, which I think it is. Yes. So I always want to use this side where I have more than it's asking for. Otherwise, it'll fail. It'll say I have insufficient balance. And then I'm just going to say add, sign that transaction, wait for the little confirmations. Oh, here you go. So now you can see now we have 68 wax times 2 in this LP. And now this is, if we go over to the farms tab, this guy is now going to be earning us 34,000 wax per day.
Woof.
I'm sorry, 34,000 woof per day, which is awesome. Like, look at this. We already made 176, 177, 178. So we're just chilling here, earning some woof tokens. We'll be back next week to take a look at how Wax Booty and Wax are performing, if we want to keep our exposure like this, or if we want to shuffle it around a little bit more. It's possible we maybe want to start shuffling it because 11% for Wax Woof isn't that crazy. And we do have a decent amount of liquidity in here now. Like you can see, we're at we're at 276 wax, so times 2, so 552 552 wax just in this pool. For having started with 100 wax, this is awesome. I think the goal for this wallet is going to continue to do this every Wednesday, continue to move these positions, continue to show how to like balance a pool like this and use these strategies to make more wax. And then if wax does finally do a crazy breakout and we push back to all-time highs around like $1 per token and we have this wallet with 500 something wax in it, then we'll be able to do some really cool giveaways and some fun stuff for the community, since I consider this a community wallet anyway. And I would love to basically at some point cull this back down to 100 wax and start over at 100 wax, especially if wax gets more expensive. Because the goal is to show that you can do these types of like relatively sophisticated investment strategies and crypto, like DeFi strategies, even on a blockchain like Wax, and even with, $10 worth of money. You don't have to spend, your whole day, every day researching stuff. You can do this in the course of like 1 or 2 hours, one day a week, and still see these results that we're getting here. And we're getting these results right alongside, whatever.
Winterfell is asking, is there a fixed number of days before we can remove liquidity? On Wax, on Alcor, no, you can immediately remove liquidity.
Yeah, right away. So, and then Alcor also, if you're not, so what I'm doing here is I'm on Alcor, I'm going to the pools and I'm looking for, basically I'm looking for incentives that I want to get paid. And so that's why I'm setting my range to be infinite wide. You can also, if you create, like if you go like a new pool here and you create a pool and you do like, let's say you want to farm, like Wax and Woof, and you're doing the 1% fee, you can set your price range down here See how it's set to infinite range? I would keep it on this because this keeps it so that if you're putting up, say 10 wax on the wax side and that's worth 38 cents, then you also need 38 cents on the if I scroll down here, you also need 38 cents on the woof side. And so this is really simple to kind of like create, but you can also, set your range to be like 5% left and right of the spot. And you can still keep it, like if we're doing 10 wax, it'll still be, or it won't be even 1-to-1 anymore. And as the price moves, you may end up 100% in one of these tokens and out of range. And that can be more hurtful than helpful when you're not really sure of what you're doing. So I would always, if you're looking to farm rewards, I would just go infinite range. The way that the rewards pools pay out here, it, in my experience, from what I've done with my own research here, it does not seem to care how concentrated my volume or my liquidity is. The rewards are evenly distributed based on my total liquidity, not my in-range liquidity. So by making a tighter range and forcing more of my liquidity to be in range, I'm able to, focus my liquidity providing and end up with more share of the actual pool that's doing the trading volume, but that does not translate to bigger APR in the wax boot. Like if I were to, instead of go from 0 to infinity, if I was to go like really close around the current price, I would still be expecting to get 248% APR.
You can also you
And
can
it's
end up on one side faster. Like if you do tight
much-
liquidity and it goes in one direction, you'll end up on the other side really fast. So if your goal is not to buy a ton of the token, that might end up biting you in the butt.
Yeah, and that's why we're trying to stick with it like here. And so even here you can see like like our wax side of this wax woof, it's still 1-to-1. You can see this is $10.50, $10.56. Like this is
And
automatically balancing.
as far as liquidity locking on wax, like the one thing that mainly does it is when you stake wax. Like when you stake wax to CPU or net, it takes 3 days to withdraw. And that's like
Yeah.
as long as you're voting, you have to vote for 20 blockchain producers, you get like around like 6 to 8% APY of wax in return for voting. And that has like a 3-day removal process. So that's like, there might be some other smart contracts that people have that lock stuff, but most stuff on wax is pretty finalized instantly. And then
Yeah.
Winterfell is also asking, is it better to have liquidity on Alcor or Taco? That is 100% up to like what you're trying to farm, what tokens you want, and like the APYs offered. It can change because anyone can incentivize a pool on Taco and anybody can incentivize a pool on Alcor. So those are going to fluctuate where it's better to put your stuff. But I will say Alcor has much more volume and liquidity in general. So like there's more stuff happening on Alcor. So if you're trying to farm the fees, a lot of times Alcor will probably be better because of the volume, but it's on a case per case basis by every token pair.
Yeah. So here this is like the metrics of like the token markets on chain on wax. And you can see like for fees collected for swaps, Alcor swap is doing all of this purple chunk, and then Taco swap is the entirety of Taco swap. So all of the swapping happening on Taco swap is less than the TLM wax swapping market on Alcor swap. Part of that is, liquidity, depth, and availability. But the other part is also this. Look, if I go to Taco swap and I make a swap, if I want to swap, let's say like Neon token into Taco, I can't. I can choose between Wax and Buzz because those are the only routes where there is a liquidity pool.
What the
for
hell is
Neon.
Buzz and why is it paired with Neon?
That is a good question. But at the same time, if I go to Alcor, I can come here and I can swap Neon into Taco. And it will find me a route. And you can see here, if I drop down this, or it is drop down, if I click this plus, it's doing the routing. So it's doing Neon into Wax, Wax into Taco. This order routing doesn't happen on Taco Swap. And so if you're creating a pool and supplying liquidity and you want that pool to get, volume from people trading it, maybe just people passing through, that won't happen on Taco Swap unless people are using something like Wax on Edge.
I think
because then if
most
if you
most of what decides where people are trading is liquidity, like how much liquidity is in the pools, and Alcor is just crushing Taco as far as like liquidity provided. So like you have less slippage over there, so most people are going to trade where they're losing less slippage. That also, like, the opposite can also have an advantage, because maybe like you only have a little bit of TLM, and if somebody's trading TLM on Alcor, like you're going to make none of it because you have such a small percentage of the pool, and maybe you can own 100% of the pool over on Taco, and then when arbitrage bots trade between Taco and Alcor, you'll get a larger percent of that volume, and you'll actually get a larger percentage of the fees. So like there are situations where having less liquidity could be beneficial. That's why it's really a case per case basis on every token where it's better to provide liquidity to, and it depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to farm liquidity incentives, there are no liquidity incentives for TLM on Taco, I don't think, and I think there might be on Alcor. So it's like, what do you want? More trade fees? Do you want more liquidity incentives? You have to decide what your goal is, and then compare how that goal is performing on each of the two different ones. But there isn't like an answer where it's like this one's better for everything and this one's. But I would say in general, I use Alcor way more, and I use Wax on Edge for everything. So Wax on Edge will tell me if it's better to route my trades through Taco or through DeFi box or through Alcor.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So it's like, here's kind of like this is like the best example right here. If I'm going to do 10 Neon into Taco tokens, doing this trade on Wax on Edge is the only way where it'll do 10 Neon into Wax on Alcor, and then the Wax into Taco on Taco Swap. So it's going to use both dexes in one transaction for me. And I mean, normally you'd have to do this manually. I'd have to go to one exchange. Now with Wax on Edge, I just sign into Wax on Edge and do it here, which is great. And then the other side is, the fact that, like Lewis was saying, the deeper the liquidity, the more volume there is, but also, the smaller percentage of the pool you are. So yeah, depending on like where the volume is, that's kind of what matters. But I would say, generally, as a liquidity provider, I stick to Taco or I stick to Alcor or wherever the rewards are currently the highest. And at the end of the day, DeFi is not a loyalty kind of rewarding place to participate. Like I go where the deal is the best. It's like if I'm swapping my Wax into Woof and Taco Swap has a better deal than Alcor, then I'm doing it on Taco Swap. And generally, Wax on Edge is just going to tell me where. So realistically, I'm just doing it on Wax on Edge.
That's also like the whole beauty of DeFi and why decentralization is like such an important part of crypto, because say you trade crypto on Coinbase, you can only buy Ethereum for the price that it's on Coinbase. If you have your Ethereum on the Ethereum blockchain, you can look at like Uniswap or like PancakeSwap on Ether, whatever, like any of the like 100 dexes that you can trade Ether tokens through. If there's a better price on one of them, you go to that one. You don't have to be stuck to the one that's centralized that you're in. So like the whole beauty of DeFi is that you can check DeFi box, you can check Alcor, and you can check Taco Swap, and then you can do whatever's best for you. But that's also, it's constantly changing what that might be, even if it is mostly one. And
here's an example of that just visualized. If you're going to trade 100 ETH into USDC, $333,000. Here's how I would do that. Or let's go even more. Let's go 1,000 ETH. So $3 million, right? Here's how it goes. Look, it's using Curve, it's using Hashflow, it's using all of these different exchanges. And so it's like, oh, which one of them is better? Fucking none of them. You use all of them. You just use whatever route. And so you can see we're starting here on the left side with ETH, and we're ending on the right side with USDC. But what happens in between there is whatever is the best deal.
How much, curious, how much is the gas for that?
Actually, ETH is not that expensive lately. This is going to be...
Is that an $81,000 or $81? I can't read that.
$51. Or what?
That's actually not bad. More expensive than Wax by a ton, but for a $3 million trade, that's not bad.
Yeah, for $3 million, you're paying $51 in gas to split it between all of these DeFi protocols in one transaction. And then the cool thing about this is because like I've had people ask us like, oh, what if one of these protocols is like malicious or whatever? It's like you're not depositing into these exchanges. You're literally either the transaction, it goes in on this side and out on this side. Either it works and the transaction finishes, or it doesn't work and the entire transaction fails. There isn't like a section or an in between scenario where like some of the money is stolen along the way. Like it's all or nothing. It's an atomic swap style contract, or it's a swap. Either way, you can do, $3.3 million is nuts that you can just do that and you don't have to be stuck on a
I'm
specific
flipping
like,
over to a
platform.
giveaway really quick.
Yeah.
Let's do a giveaway, and then
Yeah.
Random King had a question about, he said, I need like 10 minutes. Well, that was like 10 minutes ago, so probably good. But can you show me how to do a spot trade? Anon is releasing on the 6th, and I would love to know place lowball bid. So I think he just means like limit order trading on Alcor, which we can show, but I'd like to do this giveaway first. But
Yeah, for sure.
load that up in the chamber for the next thing we're going to talk about.
We can do it on Alcor. We can do it on. I can show you how to set like a limit trade on GMX as well.
Anon, I'm pretty sure, is a meme token on Wax, so that's not going to work.
Okay, then yeah, we can look at. I feel like Wax is more relevant too. I don't know how many people in the audience are.
He
looking
said
to trade
basically
on
when
Zoom.
Wiener dropped, I heard some guys buying a bunch for a few Wax, then immediately selling for like 20x. And Max would do that a lot, where he'd put in like wherever
Yeah,
the
I do that
floor
too.
of the token is. He was like, if it drops this floor, I'm buying a bunch, and then when it recovers, we can definitely show you how
Yeah,
to do
or
that.
I set the floor before, like when like a meme coin dropped, I just put in like a 10,000 Wax buy at like some absurdly low price, and then somebody fat fingers and like the market drops and I hit like 200 or 300 Wax of that 2,000 or 10,000 Wax order fills, and then I still have 9,800 Wax waiting to buy, and the price has recovered like 20x since my buy, and then I can sell the 200 Wax back for like 1,000 more.
All right, I'm
But yeah, I'll show
starting
you
this
how to do
giveaway.
that. That's really straightforward. Limit trading is pretty easy because, yeah, you're limited to just your strike prices. Either they hit or they don't.
Oh, grub exploded. He almost got hit by the razor before he grub exploded.
Yeah, right. It almost looked like it made him explode.
I think our new Wax user got killed already, unfortunately.
Damn. I like the headset this guy has with like the red like beams coming out of it.
Konjin.
Yeah.
So many beautiful grubs.
I need that headset to go with my red trail.
I think that one might be the coolest headset because of the animation. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I think it's super dope.
These grubs are really surviving. Look at the dodge
these are
skills. Dodge skills like 99 out of 100. Oh, headphones down. Sorry, brother.
I was waiting for the headphones.
Final 4. Final 3, they all win, but who's going to get the most? Oh, be wicked. Capjon Parakeet versus D-Gorge. Oh, Capjon Parakeet came in first. That's 3 million woof. You're a multi-millionaire. And honestly, $3, like you could trade that into Wax, trade that into Wax into like
That's a
USDT. You can buy yourself a burger for 4th of July.
yeah. Dude, back in the college town I lived, you could get a beer for that. $3.
I do think
Not
it'd be hard
here.
to cash out $3 without it. I guess you could do it on centralized.
Huh.
You can't really use like the
Yeah, $3 is a little. I guess. Maybe if you used like a swap, like what you could do. This is kind of sweaty, but you could bridge it to base, and then from base you like swap it into USDC, bridge it to like Polygon or something else that's super cheap, and then buy a gift card.
That's what I'm saying. Like, can't. I guess you could send it from Polygon, as you say. Like this whole like
I always
swap
use Polygon.
things. This whole swap things, like the simple swap and shit, like won't let you do $3. I guess
Yeah,
Polygon.
but the bridge will. Oh, you're right, because you do still. Yeah, like what is it called? Like Swap Router or Squid Router would probably let you do $3.
Yeah. All right. This is
It's
D
cool.
Borge. You won 2 million wax.
Although 2 million woof, but
Yeah, woof, not wax.
although
2 million wax. That'd be quite the fucking giveaway.
yeah, although I think yeah, maybe I don't think you can buy a $3 gift card. There's
Yeah, I
still
think
a
that's the other
bottleneck
thing.
somewhere.
I think
Yeah.
I think you could do it on a centralized exchange. So you could go to crypto.com. It'd probably just take a day or two, but you can sell $3 worth of
Yeah.
wax on crypto.com and then just move that to your bank account. I don't think there's limits on. It'd take like 3 days.
Honestly, I feel like you can find somebody like in Discord that's willing to send you like $3 on Zelle or PayPal or something, and you just send them the wax. Although, be careful. People can backcharge their PayPal sends.
Looks like ETH is up to $3,304. Oh, it's
Let's
cranking as we're
go.
looking. 3,305. It's trying to hit that point where Max was saying if it gets rejected there, it might drop lower, but we're kind of getting up. All right, let's
I'm looking for
let's show off spot
3,325
trading.
in Discord. Let's do it. Spot trade. We don't need to be on this DEX. We need to go to Alcor. All right, let's do some spot trading. So, you want to find the spot market here under trade spot market. This is where you can set limit orders. Limit order is basically just an order that you're setting a price, like a strike price, and if the price hits, the order fills. Generally, these markets are maintained by like continuous order books, which I'll show off once we get into our specific token market. But what was the name of the coin? It's or we can
Not
do
out
like
yet. It's Anon. ANON.
Okay.
Also, doesn't it cost money to make a spot market? So like you would have to
It
make
usually
sure it
costs
has a
like
spot
100
market.
bucks. Yeah. So
Showed
like
on
somebody-
Wiener, since that's what he's talking about for the or WIENR. WEINR.
WEIN.
I thought that's what it was. I guess you could show on Woof, but
Let me go to all.
if they did it for Wiener, they had to have done it manually because there's no market for it.
Yeah, so that gets a little more tricky to do it manually, because you have to basically, the way I would do it then would be like with a liquidity pool, and you'd have to like close your liquidity position before the market rebounds, because it won't automatically close. But
To
like,
show
let's
Woof,
see.
for example, I feel like
Yeah, Wolf is a lot easier.
yeah,
So
there
real
has to be
quick,
a
at the
market
actual-
for this. So if Anon doesn't launch a market, you won't be able to do this for Anon. So it's up to the, I guess anybody can make it, but it's usually up to the creator of the token to create a market for their token.
So here, like when Wolf launched, it definitely had those like, or like here, like yeah, here it is. These kind of like, this is a perfect example right here. Look at that. Yeah. Oh my. So it dropped. So we're looking at the 1 hour candles. So each one of these candlesticks right now is 1 hour. This candlestick that you're seeing here, this first one, means that within this hour, the price was from here to here. It traded like people bought here and bought here. So basically, just as a quick kind of like overview of what are we looking at when we see these candles? Like why do some of them have fatter bodies and some of them have longer wicks and stuff? All that is information visually displayed about the time frame that we're looking at. So, for example, this fat candle, what that means is that where the base of this body, the fat part of the body starts, that's where the hour started. Where the base of the fat body ends, that's when the hour ended. And so that's why that part of the candle is fat. This little wick section, that is where the price moved to during the time that the hour was running. So, for example, this candle would have opened right here, maybe moved up a little bit, then moved all the way down to here, and then moved all the way back up to here before the hour ended and the next candle started drawing. The next candle started on the top of this body, the fat body, like you see how thin this one is. So because it's red, we know the top of the body was the start of the hour, and the bottom of the body, where the fatness ended, that was the end of the hour. This long wick though, that was the price movement that was happening during the hour. So with this little candle, we know that it, when this candle closed, this hour started. It started here, and during that time, during the hour, the price went all the way up to here, and all the way down to here before recovering to there and closing and moving to the next candle. So when you're looking at a candle, what you're seeing is the body is basically the price that transpired between open and close of that candle. The wick beyond the fat body of the candle is where that price moved to during the candle, but not after, or not within close, not within that range where it closed. And then the color of the candle is based on, if we opened here and ended here, like higher, then the candle is green. If we opened here and ended lower, the candle is red. Okay, so now that you know what you're looking at when you see a candle on a chart, look at this first candle and you can see the hour. Basically, look at that. It started at basically this price and ended at pretty much this price, but during the hour dropped all the way down to here and all the way up to there. So if you're trading WOOF on hour one, day one of launch, like say you didn't even get your airdrop lit. Like the airdrop's happening. You're like, okay, airdrop's happening now. People are gonna start claiming. I'm gonna take my wax. So I'd come in here and I'm gonna set a limit order to buy. And obviously none of these charts exist yet, but you'd be like, okay, people are generally, you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy at, like, let's say, like, what is this, 50 satoshis, 50 wax toshis. So then you could be like, buy WOOF at a price of 0. A wax toshi would be 8, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 and then 7 8, so that's 50 wax toshi, in the sense that wax is fungible, or wax's precision is 8 units, so you can have 8 decimals for a wax token. And so we're saying 50, like, of the smallest units of wax we'll buy 1 woofie for. And then what I would do is be like, okay, I want 10 billion woofie or something, like, crazy. Like, let's see, what is it? 1 2 3 thousand million. Yeah, 10 billion. So 10 billion, I could put an offer in for 10 billion right now for 5,000 wax. So I would just put this, and then I'd say buy WOOF. And what this would do is create onto the order book, which, if I scroll up, this right here is the order book. So you can see, the way that this works is where our current price is. I guess if I just say reset chart. And let me visualize this. Let's see, there is depth. So it looks like this. This is a little easier to visualize, I think. Okay, so you see this red kind of side and this green side, right? And they get basically closer and closer to 0, right on the spot. So right between the flip here, that's where the current price is. And then the height of this, like, graph is how much people are looking to buy or sell on the difference in price. So you can see, like, as the price goes up, there's a bunch more people trying to sell their WOOF. As the price goes down, there's more and more people trying to buy their WOOF, right? And that is then also denominated here in actual text, like, okay, at this price, this amount, this amount, this amount. So that's what you're seeing. That's the order book. That's what the market is. When you talk about, like, you could, a market, the WOOF market, that's what the WOOF market is. People are looking to buy and sell, and, like, how much the token is worth because the market sets the price between the buy and the sell. Anyway, so you would have set, your order at 50 wax, so it would be way down here. And right now you can see that the depth for those orders, like, here's already 190, 53. So, like, right here, if we actually look, the order book depth right now would be, it's insanely deep. You can see here it goes to the way I'm seeing it is, by the way, if you choose the spot on here, like I chose 51 wax toshi and clicked it, it'll automatically fill in, like, what it would take to fill the order book to that amount. So you can see here, this is how much wax I would need
Am I right on this?
49,
I think the
400.
a spot trade is always at the current price, and a market trade is what you're actually looking for, which is setting the price, right?
So a limit trade is setting the price, and then a market trade is just buying the current highest bid or lowest ask.
Okay, so I
like,
used the terminology wrong.
yeah, and then market, like buying spot is basically just buying at the current price.
Yeah, that's
But
what I
you can
thought,
buy
though.
spot with, yeah, you can buy spot with limit or with market buys. Like it's
What
like,
we're
oh, I'm
looking
gonna
for
buy
is really a
spot.
limit trade, though, where you're trying to catch the bottom of something and not
Yeah.
the current
So the way
price.
exactly. So you'd be setting your limit like you'd set the one that we have set up here where it's like 50, and you set it to 5,000. You would buy 10 billion woof. Right now you can see there is, it would take 491,000 wax worth of selling before that price actually gets there. So it's pretty unlikely. But on day one, when you first set this up, so let's find maybe find a market that's newer. If we go to trade spot, and let's just see, maybe not too much volume.
But this will only work if the Anon team creates a market, which
Yeah, there
may or
needs
may
to be
not
this
happen.
market, which if they don't, you could create it. Like here, open
I
a
think
new
it
market.
costs like 800 wax or something.
Yeah, it's like 600 or 800 wax or something, which isn't
It's
that
like
much money at the moment.
it's a
But
lot to have to make from hoping that the token
it's a
dumps.
lot. Yeah. Yeah, but here you can create your own trade spot markets like this.
And
Which is pretty cool.
yeah, I feel like the whole LP thing, really not that much better. Like if the price tanks that hard, and you have to be in the LP and then close it, at that point you could just do a spot trade if you're there actively when it's dumping anyway. So
You need to
I
basically
don't know.
be actively watching, which is why I was saying the way that you would do that manually is using a bot. Like you would create an LP position that's like, okay, from here to here, and then it's like, oh, once the LP position is this percent in range, close it. And your bot would have to basically do that automatically. Otherwise, there's no way you can react that fast. Because a lot of the times there is bots trading, and so when a price does tank that hard, it immediately spikes back up. Like I'm sure you've seen those candles
It
where
looks like
it's just a wick that's super far
are these
down.
markets or are these swaps? So they're markets, right?
These are markets. Yeah,
I feel like Chad token has one. Chad's like one of the meme tokens on Wax, so Anon might make it. It just depends on who's running it.
Yeah, and this one is Chad in Shill, which is weird too. So you'd have to have Shill as your base asset. Let's see if there's a Chad Wax. Yeah, here, there's a Chad Wax. And I feel like this is more likely to have a lower hey, thanks for the follow, by the way. This is more likely to have a lower volume, and therefore, yeah, okay, yeah, you can already see see how these basically candles are in one trade jumping. I don't know how much percent this is. It's a lot, it looks like. Can I not use this little tool here? Oh, I went too far out. How much is that? Oh yeah, look at that. It's going like 150% in per candle here. So here you'll see a lot more simple way to understand this, because this market isn't very mature and this market, it doesn't have a lot of volume. And this is you can see there's a 61.4% spread here on the spot market. You see this spread? It's a 61%. And what that means is that the difference between the person here trying to sell, so their asking price, and the bid from the person trying to buy is 61%, which means in a market like this, and what I've done in the past, I don't know Chad token well enough to feel comfortable doing this, but if it's something that I'm like, oh, it'll do, it'll keep, kind of fluctuating or holding its own, something like this, what I like to do is I'll buy some, or I'll set some maybe limit orders down here, and then once I have these tokens, then I'll try to basically be on both sides of the spread. So for example, set it to 50%, and I'm the top ask and the top bid, and then I just let people buy both sides like of that, and then my take home profit is the 50%. But that's not what you're trying to do. What you want to do for a market like this is you would, and here's a good example of it on this market. Look at this shit. Somebody bought these tokens all the way up to like an insane amount on day one, right? And so the way that happens is you come here and you see these tokens, like some people have them listed. So what you want to do is if you have some Chad tokens on the first day that they're being distributed, like let's say you're one of the first person gets their airdrop, you want to come here, you want to say sell Chad and sell like not all your tokens if you're trying to like play this as a player or whatever, but maybe set like 10% of them into a sell and like, sell like, 100 of them for 1,000 wax each or whatever you want, like set it to something insane. And then if somebody makes a limit, like comes along here and changes this to market transaction like this, and then just says buy Chad and then buys, let's say like 1,000 wax worth of this token and thinks that they can just click this buy button and then get 1,000 wax worth of Chad in one transaction. Well, what's going to happen is you look at this and it tells you, well, up to here, that, to fill that order book to there is going to cost me, I got to go back to limit, is going to cost me less than a fraction of a wax. So like to get to 1,000 wax, it would be like, like it would basically crunch the price way the fuck up here. And so that's kind of the move, is like be as early as possible to these markets to set limit trades like in very far extremes, and don't just try to set like all your stack on the bottom and the top. Like what I'll do is I'll set like 5 different ones on the like at different prices near the bottom and 5 near the top, and then the hope is that it spikes and hits all my shit. But like, hey, if I only hit one, that's still great, because hitting one trade like this is still like, if we do the math here or we measure this candle, like 1,600% to get to there, 1,900% profit, like 2,000. Like, so this is like 200 times what you paid for it. So even if you get a small fraction of that to fill, that small fraction almost immediately, so within the same candle here, makes you a 200x. And that type of volatility is almost exclusively going to happen on like launch day, and especially on tokens that are like targeting non-trader communities. Like meme coins will do that, where people don't really know how to trade, and so people will make the mistake of using like a market trade to buy more than is available in the liquidity pool or in the liquidity depth of the spot market, because they're not able to like look through here and be like, okay, looks like there's 80 wax plus 40 plus 30 plus 25. So at this point, if I'm buying 150 wax worth, you should expect to fill all of these orders. So if you're buying 1,000 wax, well, like by here you're only at 250. This is 500-ish. So here you're at 700, 30 more, and then you'll literally fill the entire order book up to here, where somebody has 30,000 wax waiting to sell, at a stupid rate. So you'll literally, if you did 1,000 wax, you would spend like 900 or so of that wax to fill the entire order book up to here, and the last 100 wax you'd be selling to this guy at this absurd fucking price. So people don't know how to trade, especially on day one. There's a lot of frenzy of like FOMO. Oh, I got to do it now. Like quickly, let me do stuff that I don't understand. That's where you want to set your orders. That's the days where you want to catch those fat finger mistakes, or those like just, green mistakes that people make that have never done this before. And you can really, really cash in on, like we saw, this is a 2,000% candle. Somebody made those sales. And again, it can be you if you're early and if you're not. So then I guess the next thing you'd want to see is like we did all the math here, right? We can see this is 40 wax, 30 wax, whatever. But once we get up here, that's 30,000 wax. So I would not set my order higher than this, because in order for my order to fill, if it was higher than this, 30,000 wax would have to be sold at this price, which isn't going to fucking happen. So then maybe I would set my order like slightly below this 30,000, which because I do this also with like thousands of wax at a time, maybe not 30,000, but like 5,000 at a time. Usually when I set my wax like order slightly below the person above me, it becomes like a race to the bottom, and like they will reset, and like it's competitive because it's not like people aren't paying attention and trying to do this stuff. So, while it's a fun way to participate in these kind of launches, it's definitely really competitive. And, the thing you're really looking for is the liquidity depth in the order book. So what you want to do is you want to look through this book. And for example, if you're going to try and put in a spot market order to buy a bunch of this token for cheap, you'll want to go down this list and be like, okay, look, 20 wax, this is like 6 whatever wax, 1 wax, nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay, here it gets high. Or yeah, like here it starts getting, that's still only 30, 60. None of these are that big, honestly. So this market, you could probably put something down here because this is still only like a few hundred wax deep. Like if I go to this guy, let's see, how deep is that? Yeah, 4,000 wax deep to fill the whole order book right now. So, but either way, like you'll want to keep an eye on where are the big orders, for example, and you can even see it visually. You see how this green line gets larger and larger. That is, so we know that this big stair step here, where we go from being this deep to this deep, that's happening on this order. So this order is 50 wax, which is 50 times bigger than the order before it. So if you want to, squeeze yourself in front of this guy, you now know, okay, this is their spot price. You want to set yours slightly higher than that. And that way, if you're only buying like 10 wax or something, now you don't have to wait for the 50 wax order to fill for yours to come through. And so it becomes kind of like look for your opportunity based on where is there room for you. Like you don't want to be above someone who put 30,000 like tokens up because, good luck having that sell. But yeah, that should hopefully explain it. I think on drop day, if you have questions, just hit me up. I'm
I mean,
all
the real
about these kind of.
question is, will any of this matter if they don't make the market for it?
That's true. So it definitely comes down to like having the markets made too, and then you can make it yourself, but which isn't necessarily a bad idea because if you're doing it with 600 wax, you can be very sure that you're the first person setting orders on both sides of the book. So it's possible that you catch some of those people. It's most likely that if someone catches them, it's you because you made the market and there's no one there before you. But it's also very likely that if it's not like a major like token that has huge trading and big big money moving through it, it's not necessarily guaranteed you can make back 600 wax. 600 wax is not trivial. That's a pretty decent amount of wax considering the entire order book depth here is 4,000 wax deep. 4,138 wax. And then on the sell side, how deep is that? Let's see. Sell side. Oh, it shows me in Chad. Well, for 44,000 wax deep on the sells. So the sell side's crazy deep on this one. So Chad token, that's another kind of like thing to look at in that sense, where it's like, oh yeah, it takes very little selling pressure to drop the price. Only 4,000 wax worth fills the whole order book, but it takes 40,000 wax to pump this token all the way up to here. Obviously, 30,000 of that is this top price. So either way, it's a decent way you can check. And then again, if you just do this depth chart button, you can actually visualize it pretty easily. And see kind of like, what side, like there's more selling pressure than buying pressure here. And, there's a kind of sell wall right there, which generally is going to push a price like this down if you follow markets closely. But yeah, this is a whole nother thing. You can analyze like the depth and the actual order book. But yeah, there's ways to play order books, and continuous order books like this are literally always just waiting for like market orders to be made. So if you and then the flip side of this, you actually have to have the tokens to make an order. You can't put in like this person who's doing like 30,000. You have to have 30,000 to put up to make this order in the first place. So that's the big like difference here, where it's like this is people who make orders and let them sit, that's capital that they're like committing to something that they're not making, say LP yield with or something. So there's definitely competition to making those orders fill, and people who do these strategies are watching, and you will notice that when you start to undercut them, they will undercut you right back. And a lot of those people are using bots, and the second you undercut them, their order cancels and reset. Like, you can't even keep up with it. But it is fun, and I definitely recommend trying it. It's a really good way to like get a better understanding of limit trading, and to kind of like participate in new launches with like limited risk, where it's like, like for that Woofy farm one, where it's like, okay, maybe you didn't know if Woofy was going to do well, but you could have put in an offer to buy it at 50 wax Toshi. Like, that's basically free. And it would have filled, it would have filled, and it would have been worth like 70x what you paid for it today. So there's definitely like reasons to play those kind of games. But yeah, let's see. Marvel Racing. Never touched Shill. Me neither. I'm not a big fan of the Shill stuff.
I've
I
been
just
talking to
don't-
Hack about. I said, Shill
Yeah.
made a con Chad token about a week before the official Chad was announced. I don't think that was bullshit. Though. I thought that was a different guy, because the actual Shill that's paired with Chad is the like actual Chad.
Oh.
But I know the person who they made like a fake Chad, and they made like anal and sex and fart and like butt tokens. They just made a bunch of random tokens.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the guy that made the fake Chad, and that isn't Shill unless Bullshipples has like multiple personalities and is deep undercover on like a psyop operation in the Atomic Kings channel. But I don't think that's the same person.
I don't think that's the same Shill either. But either way, I don't mess with either of the Shills though.
That's what I was saying. I don't mess with anything Corey or Bullshipple. Also, I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into it, but there's some information on the backstory of Bullshipple, and he may or may not have been involved in financial legal troubles, and also maybe sexually harassed people that he worked with. Like, you look up who that guy's in real life, he's kind of a fucking dirtbag, so stay away from them. But
yeah,
allegedly, because
allegedly, exactly. Allegedly, we don't know for sure, but I've heard enough.
I've seen a news article with his name, not his name in it, but his picture, because we've seen what he looks like, and claiming that he had multiple legal cases against him for like financial fraud and also sexually harassing people. So it's like, I don't know, why the fuck do like criminals always come to Wax, and then like they end up being the people that are running all these projects that people are like promoting, and it's like these people fuck people over like in real life, and now they're just becoming anonymous on the internet to fuck over more people. Sort of the vibe I get from them, but again, allegedly, I don't think I can prove, that's not his real name. So, but yeah, like basically a lot of the people we've tracked down on the Wax blockchain have ended up being shady. Green Rabbit was made by a guy who stole from like an old lady, like fucking tons of money.
Yeah, I think it was like elder abuse. He got charged with some pretty decent, like, he got convicted of.
Yeah, he's convicted. He's a convicted felon for a financial crime and started a project on Wax.
It's it's a hard thing to trust people with, like, in a money space, I think, who have a history of money fraud and money crime.
I also think, like, if you're running a legitimate project, like, why not give people your real name and then ask why people are not willing to put their real names up behind their projects? It's because if you Google their name, you're going to see a bunch of shit you don't want to see. So when people hide behind screen names, that's kind of a red flag for me. You can look on the Neon Space website and find all of our team's full legal names that you can fucking look us up in. Guess what happens when you Google me or Max? You see films we've worked on, not fucking criminal scandals. You can see that we're legitimate professional artists outside of the space, and not that we have scammed people and stolen from old ladies.
It also makes it easy to like publicly like shoot down like the scamming bullshit when I talk to people in like Discords and they're like trying to steal some bullshit, and I'm like, that's bullshit, and they try to shoot back at me like, oh well, like it's just like, go ahead, what do you got on me? Like, I'm not hiding behind any of this bullshit. Like, I'm not full of shit. Like,
another one's M Blue. M Blue is not his real name. He hides behind that name. You look him up, he's like, I wouldn't call him, I guess he is kind of a con artist, but he's really like a snake oil salesman. Like, when you look up all of his shit, it's like, I don't know. The fact that we like bought so much stuff from those people makes me feel like an idiot, because it's like there's so many red flags when you look back on it.
part of it was definitely like the I'm gonna live forever feeling of like making all that fucking money from like our planet and alien worlds and everything
And
you
for a
touch
while, it
turns
was very profitable. It seemed like, oh, like
Yeah.
let's keep eating out of their hands because they're right now. His legal name, as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned, again, allegedly, I don't want to get sued by anybody, but MBlue's name is Michael McDonald, which is also funny as shit because that's the name of a famous singer. But yeah, Michael McDonald. Like, I found his LinkedIn and shit. And I was like considering trying to track him down because he scammed so many people on Wax. But I was like, I don't know. It's not worth my time to like try to legally pursue something that'll probably end up being nothing because like they can't even fucking get Ben Armstrong, the what is his name? Crypto,
Yeah,
whatever.
Blue
Like,
Wizard.
no, that's not. The
Oh,
Blue Wizard
okay.
is actually like in holding to go to
They
jail
got
right
him.
now. He got caught, but I'm talking about Ben Armstrong's the like influencer crypto BitBoy crypto. He's like
Oh,
openly
BitBoy.
scammed so many fucking people in crypto. It's like if that guy's not in jail, like MBlue's not going to jail because like he's like doing what
Yeah.
they're doing on a way larger level. And MBlue's also been like
He's like failing upwards doing it too. It's going really well for him.
he deleted all of his socials. He deleted everything. You can't find MBlue on the internet anymore because I think he realized like he's not going to get away with it anymore. But he failed his way into working with a major label and doing a Dead Mouse release on Polygon. Like that shit's wild. But
Yeah, I think
don't know.
Legendary Music or something got like involved with them too at some
Yeah, that's what I'm
point.
saying. He's Legend. Legend is created by his email said Michael Blue, but I found Michael McDonald being the real name behind him. And Legend is the people that they owned Uplift. They bought Uplift from Corey and supposedly fucked over Corey. And then they stole all the rewards pool that was supposed to be paid out to the players. And then they also made Yoshi drops. They owned Yoshi drops and supposedly fucked over Yoshi. It's hard to say like who in the camp was the fucker and who's the fucky, but like either way, like all I know is if they were gullible enough to like sell their entire businesses to a scam artist, then I don't really want to be working with those people or buying stuff from
Yeah.
them because they're way too gullible and bad at running a business. So that's why we've stayed away from like
Yeah.
any of that stuff. I don't really know much about the Chad guy, but I'm pretty sure his name was like Mars Trader before he named his name to like Chad Industries. And that guy was like he does like oil paintings and he does like VIRL for oil paintings, which is actually pretty cool. But like the time
That's
he's like,
cool.
oh, I'm trying to use this to fund, I'm trying to make like a peer to peer marketplace for trading NFTs. I'm like, Atomic Hub exists. Like that seems like the wrong lane to be going down. So I just didn't really agree. Like I didn't really understand the scope of his project. And since then he's released like profile pictures and now he's releasing meme coins. He kind of just seems to be jumping on from trend to trend, but I don't really have like bad things to say from that guy as far as like I don't think he's like a criminal or anything, but he does seem to just kind of be like hopping from one idea to the next without really like a clear goal of what he's trying to do.
Yeah. That was my kind of take on it too.
I don't have a problem
And
with
that
him
and
though.
I'm not like in the market for like meme coins that aren't like backed by millions of dollars in liquidity. And even then I'm like pretty skeptical of meme coins in general. Like I'll fuck with Woofy and Woofy is on Wax. So like that has me covered with everything I want to do meme wise on Wax. Like I'm really not in the market for any other meme coins.
His paintings look
On
dope
the
though,
Wax
where
chain.
Hack himself saying they were
Yeah.
NFT side of physical items. You could do that with his paintings. Like if you got a certain level of rarities of his paintings, you could like either blend them or like you got airdrop something that late, you could like physically redeem the paintings, which that alone is dope. But what I don't understand is how that connects to like making an NFT marketplace, making meme tokens, like all this. It's like if you're an artist, I think you should just kind of make art and not try to like get sucked into like the degen crypto side of stuff. That's just my personal
Yeah.
opinion, though. I don't think he's like a scam artist or like a criminal or anything. Whereas I do kind of think some of these other people involved in the meme coin scene might legitimately be criminals, allegedly. But yeah, I don't have like horrible things to say. It's more that like the company he keeps. Because if you see Chad, like Chad and Chill and Liftium and all that shit is just connected in all these different pools, and I'm like, yeah, I'm out. Once these other guys put their hands in his pockets, like I'm not trying to support them for anything. And that's me personally, just because I've been fucked over. Like I got fucked over by Uplift, I got fucked over by Yoshi drops. Like I got fucked over by too many things in a row where it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I'm a fucking idiot. So like I will not be fooled 3 times by these people.
1.2 million in liquidity on Wolf Soul. At this dex. Looks like Woof sold at a different test $763,000 in liquidity. Woof USDC has 6,400. Let's see, what's this? Woof and ETH $145,000 on base chain, and then it looks like on Wax we have about 100. What's this volume? No, total value $142,000 in Wax Woof at 1%. And how much more at 0.3? Let's see.
Yeah,
And
I'm
another
aware, Hack, that
six-
anyone can make a LP pair, but also like I don't really trade meme coins on Wax, as Max is saying. Like Woof is the only thing I've been involved with as far as memes on Wax go. I'm just not really interested in that. I came to Wax to collect stuff in the game. Like I don't see Wax as like a degen trading chain. If I wanted to do that, I'd go over to Solana where there's actual money to be made on that stuff, in my opinion. When I also don't do it on Solana. That's not an interest of mine. Like I'm a gamer and an artist at heart, so like what I do spend hours and hours doing is when Neon Heroes was released on Solana and you could grind that game to get a token airdrop, I put in a couple hours a day for like a month playing that, and that's something I am willing to do. I actually like it, and also like that's what I'm trying to promote because I'm interested in like legitimate projects that have products built behind them and not necessarily just like hot air, which is what most meme coins are. Not to say that you can't make money on them or that nobody should buy them. It's just not my interest. So something that's not my interest and I kind of don't get on top of a bunch of people I don't like promoting it is just I'm out at that point. Not to say again, like you can probably make money off of it. Also not to say that all the creators are dirtbags. Like they could be fine people just trying to capitalize on trends and stuff. And like, that's fine. Like being opportunistic isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just, they're being opportunistic in a lane that I'm not interested in. So yeah, I don't mean to shit on all those people. It's just, I saw the company they're keeping on top of like something that I'm already not super interested in. And even Woof, like, I mean, we told everybody like we were going to sell half our Woof really early and didn't believe that it would hold value long term. And it surprised the shit out of us. But like, I've been anti-meme coin for years. For a long time, it was like Doge is the dumbest fucking thing. And Doge ended up turning into an empire and launching their own chain and shit. And like, definitely proved me wrong. But like, I tried to get out Doge a long time ago because I thought it was illegitimate. And I was like, why would anybody buy this token when it has no utility and is just like a shittier version of Litecoin? And then it's look at where Doge is now and look where Litecoin is. Like Doge is miles ahead. So
Yep. I underestimated how much that dog's meme was worth. I had tens of millions of Dogecoins back in the day, probably close to 100 million. Oh well, I gambled it away. Here's
you literally
by the
did
way,
like some of the most insane. Like if you go back and check the transactions, like when he says he gambled it away, Max literally was in a Doge casino spending like.
Yeah, I played like blackjack and like Crash and stupid games. At the time, it was like 50 cents at a time. But yeah, if you look at the wallet now, it's like, oh, your like cumulative losses are 780,000 US dollars. I was like, fuck. If I just not gambled and just like held those tokens, I would have had less fun but more money.
I hold Woof too. Like I have a billion Woof in a wallet on Solana. Like Woof is something that I actually have. Like especially because they made all these bridges. They made a bridge. When they made the bridge to Solana, I was like, whatever. I don't really like Solana. Solana's just a bunch of like hot air meme coins. But when they made the bridge to base, that's when I was like, oh, this is some serious shit. Like you can't get Wax bridged over to an Ethereum layer 2. Really, like I guess maybe through TLM and BSC, but like that's not even made by the Wax team, and it's like the whole like I'm not really a fan of the Alien Worlds bridge, but that's like huge utility because once you get Wax into base and you can get Ether over there, then you can move it to any Ethereum chain super easily for super cheap. So that like unlocked the ability to go from Wax to like all of layer 2, and then it's on a layer 1 with Solana, and now it's going to be on the Ton chain. I'm like, Woofy has real legitimate utility and not just meme stuff. So like I don't even put like to put Woof in the same category something like Chad is like offensive to Woof in my opinion. Like they're not the same. Like how many centralized exchanges is Chad listed on? Like Chad's not listed on friggin' like MEXC or like any of the like centralized exchange listings are a huge deal. And if you look at the best tokens on Wax that have performed the last couple of years, it's like Brawl and TLM. And guess what those tokens are? They're cross chain and listed on centralized exchanges. So they're in a whole different level of legitimacy than like some random user like me just making some random meme coin and then like sending it to the leaders of a bunch of projects to promote. It's like that's not really the same level of legitimacy.
Yeah, look here. I have the cumulative paired liquidity of Woofy just on the Wax blockchain is $441,000. Uh, this is another aspect of Wax on Edge, by the way. They have a whole analytics section. You can like look up individual tokens. So we could get the same stats on Chad and compare that.
They already announced the Wax team officially announced they're making a Ton bridge, and every other bridge they've announced recently has been for Woof. And then Woof was also teasing. They're like, "What's next?" Ton. They tagged the blockchain in question mark. So I'd say it's like almost confirmed Ton is going to be bridgeable too.
Yeah.
Or Woof will be bridgeable to Ton, which is awesome because we were talking about it earlier this stream. But Ton is like the clicker stream. It has all these users interested in click games, and that's sort of like most of what Wax has had to offer for the last couple of years. So like maybe some of those people will come over to Alien Worlds. Maybe some of them will come over to Wombat Dungeon, and then our collection's stakeable in Wombat Dungeon. So then maybe they find Neon Space, and then they like the art. So
yeah,
not
By
clock
the way,
tip
here
or click
I'm
tap.
looking at the Chad pool, and it looks cool. Like it looks like nice, great. I'm excited for the for the token creator to see this like chart. Looks very bullish. Good job. But cumulative liquidity for this token is less than the limit I have waiting to open short on Bitcoin. Like the entire market is worth $26,000, that's less than 0.4 Bitcoin. So like an individual like me could come in and triple the price of this with like one trade, and it wouldn't really like be that absurd of like a thing to do for me, or for like a lot of people have like the ability to move a market this size. Compared that to like the multi-million market cap like in liquidity for Woof, like that in itself helps to like solidify like the value proposition of a token, like the fact that it is, deeply counterparted with a lot of liquidity. Even if on Wax, like we looked, the Wax Woof pool is like $150,000 of that, maybe $200,000 of that 400,000 liquidity. So like 200,000 of it is definitely paired with like a bunch of nonsense. But the fact that it is there and available to trade against, and the nonsense has to hold up and keep pace, is that's a value proposition that most tokens couldn't even grow to, I think, without having like a legitimate use case. So like I feel like it's easy to like I don't want to say this like about the Chad token specifically, because I don't think like this token isn't like a really cool idea and a cool project, and the creator is like a good guy. What I'm more trying to say is that like by myself I could take like my GMX pool position and I could create a valued economy on Wax worth like 5 times this, and it could literally just be me with like 50K. And that's like you can't do that and move cross like 4 different blockchains and maintain something like that without like putting real money into it. Whereas like anything like this size can be it's not that it can be, it's just like I'm not impressed. I don't know, I'm not trying to be a dick. Like I think it's cool that they're making token, like he's doing it, he's incorporating it into his thing. I really like the idea of doing physical redeemables and all that. So like I don't want this to be like specific to Chad. I just mean like any token with like under $40,000-$50,000 in like cumulative liquidity on a blockchain is like, that's more or less like a personal wallet amount that like an individual can very easily mess with.
I also think meme coins are supposed to be fun, and it's not expensive, and it is fun to play with these. So it is what it is. But like that's not my idea of fun, I guess, is like buying other creators meme coins. Like I don't know. I'm interested in games and collecting, and that's neither of those. And then if I am going to trade stuff, I want to trade stuff that I have trust in the value in and that will make me money. Like those are two separate things, I think. Like too many times it gets tied together where like the gaming has to be profitable and stuff, which we fell down that rabbit hole when we were into Our Planet and that stuff. And I learned my lesson where it's like games are for fun. You might lose on games, you might win on games, but you shouldn't be like putting money you expect to see back into gaming stuff. Personally, like when I buy packs in NFL Rivals, it's because I want to play with the players, not because I think it's going to make me a ton of money. And that's how I approach gaming now. And if I'm buying like crypto tokens just for the sake of like holding them to make money, like meme coins are not the ones that I'm investing in. So That's just like a me thing, but I think if like you find it fun to be able to tip someone 1,000 tokens and be able to get 1,000 tokens for super
Oh,
cheap,
yeah.
and that's like your jam and you enjoy it, like I don't think there's anything wrong with buying any of the wax meme tokens. But like I'm not trying to hold a real amount of value for any of them. Like a billion Wolf is worth a decent amount of money right now, and I would sell that if it was any other meme token just because I like believe in the future of Wolf, but I don't so much on the other ones, and I'm not trying to hold like $1,000 worth of some random meme coin that has like $25,000 in total liquidity. You know, like I don't want 1/25th of a token's value in my wallet.
Yeah. Oh, look. Neon is also around $23,000. So it's like similarly, like you could take like an individual amount of money and like pump the shit out of this market.
Well, we've also always said don't buy our token unless you want our artwork, because the Neon token's one and only use case has always been to turn into an NFT through tokenized NFT and then to blend through NFT blocks into our artwork. So if you're not looking to get more of our artwork, there's no reason to be a Neon. Although we do incentivize the rewards pool, like yeah, we've never been trying to shill Neon as a thing that's going to make you rich or moon. And in fact, we said the opposite. Like, since it's tied to the floor of our NFTs, you have to burn a shit ton of NFTs to make the floor go up. So, like, Neon likely will not moon, and you should not buy it for that.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. With the counterpart of Neon is like the entire Neon Space collection. So even though there's only 24,000, it's not like you can suddenly like, if you were to suddenly start pumping money into this market, you also have to consider the NFT counterpart side, because then people would start selling that side and dumping into you. It's
We
not
also
quite as
we
simple
don't
as,
mint the token. Like, we don't just generate the token. It's only made by burning our NFTs. So it's kind of both ways, where it's like it doesn't really. I mean, there is risk. We don't own the token contract, so if the creator of the token contract decided just to mint a shit ton and empty the liquidity pool, they could, which is another reason why we're like not trying to go that hard into it. But yeah, we don't mint the token, so like the chances of there just being thousands of Neon dumped is pretty low as well. But it's low probability for it to go in either direction super severely. But yeah, I don't know. Meme coins have never been my thing, so like having them on Wax just doesn't really excite me. It's not really something I'm looking to like promote in general. Besides Woof, because we get it for free and give it away for free, and it's like if it's 100% free, have fun with it. But once you start like saying like buy this and it'll make you rich, it's like that's when I'm out. Which I feel like is kind of the sentiment around a lot of the meme coin communities. They're not in it for the memes. They're not in it for the fun. They want like 1,000% gain, and like that's just gambling. It's slot machines with meme coins instead of like trying to win money in Vegas, which is fine if you're into it, but that's not necessarily what we're trying to promote on our stream. Like when somebody came in earlier, they're like, do you give trade calls? I'm like, we talk about the value of Bitcoin and Ethereum because that's what we believe in. We're not like giving trade calls on every new meme coin and stuff, just because that's not really what we're into as a establishment here at Neon Space. But if you are into it, I think that's fine. Like I don't think different strokes for different folks, as they would say. Like if that's your thing, and also like there's nothing wrong with gambling. If you like gambling with meme coins on Solana, it's like that's fine. Just know that like 80% of those end up getting rug pulled and people lose money on them.
Can
But
devs do something?
if you are able to be one of the people that succeeds and sells at the top and buys at the bottom, like hell yeah, all the power to you. But that's like not the part of crypto that I love.
So you can see on screen right now, we showed this earlier during the stream that I was waiting to limit sell Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin limit sell filled. So you can see now, if I go back, the position is already in $102 in profit. So now I can just set a limit like stop. So, I can make sure I don't lose profit on this trade. But the way I want to do that now is at a closer time frame. So, I set my limit at, what was it, 20 or 60 to 400 or something, I think. Yeah, right here. So now you can just go in here and be like, okay, I want to, let's say like right around here, I want to cut, which is 60. Let me lean in so I can actually see the numbers. I'll just call it 6,200. And then I can come here, close this position, take profit, stop loss, maximum amount, $25,600 at 6,200. That's gonna see me making $84 if this trips. And then I can say sign. And of course, I don't have my wallet with me right now, so I'll do this later. But yeah, I would do that, and then I would just let this sit. And then if the price comes back up, well, I'll close with $82 in profit, and I'll set another limit order higher. And if it moves higher than that, I'll just be back in Bitcoin, holding onto my Bitcoin. But yeah, like you can see, I didn't have to be active. I just set my targets and like, oh, they hit. Now that they hit, I just am slightly paying attention. And I'm like, oh, cool, my order filled, and now I can set a stop limit, which I might actually get up and go do in the other room where my wallet is, because it looks like it is getting close to where I would want to stop. But I just wanted to share. Limit trading is nice because you don't have to be like actively doing it. You just like you set your targets and then you wait. I'll be right back. Let me go set this target stop really quick though.
Are you shorting? Is that what you're saying?
I guess here to make it more straightforward. What it is a short sell, but I'm holding Bitcoin, so you can see I'm short Bitcoin with Bitcoin as collateral. So while I hold this position, it makes $2.43 per day paid in Bitcoin, and there's no liquidation price. The amount of money it's worth is never going to change. And then like that's coming kind of back up here. But the idea is yeah, I'm short Bitcoin in Bitcoin. So it's like if Bitcoin falls in price, I end up with more Bitcoins. But there's no way to like lose value, like dollar value of this position. It'll always be worth whatever it's worth, the 21 something. Here, 25.60 something. I think that's because I'm using like a slight amount of leverage, like 1.2 or something, I think. Oh yeah, up here, 1.2. But yeah, I don't know. Pretty straightforward. And this is earlier someone was asking about if you do anything on AVAX or Avalanche chain. Yeah, this exact same thing. Like up here, you can toggle and do this on Avalanche. So if you have an Avalanche wallet, you can literally just use GMX on Avalanche. I think there's less trading pairs though. Oh damn! No, there's quite a few still.
All right, I'm gonna flip over and do a Grubfish giveaway if you're gonna go do your thing.
Yeah, let's do it. Let me go set my limit really quick just so I basically whenever I'm in profit, I like to set a stop loss so that if it comes back, especially right now, GMX is paying ARB rewards, so they'll airdrop you ARB for doing trades on their platform. So I'm actually gonna get airdrop like for this trade probably like $30. And that doesn't matter if I win or lose money on the trade. That's just for a refund for paying open and closing fees.
All right, here we go. I don't know what the minimum position is. Paka. Ask Max. Probably gonna have to call the stream pretty soon. I'm getting hungry. We've been going for like 3 hours. It's dinner time here in Neon, Los Angeles. Oh boy. That was a huge Grubs flood. Yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow. If Max is not doing 4th of July shit, he might join us, but we can watch some videos of people blowing their hands off and for 4th of July or something. Hopefully we don't see anything that gross, but better view for it. Oh! Be Wicked! Gotten first. Congrats, Be Wicked. Top 3 will win again. There's some pretty great, like, classic I don't know if it's a fail video, but like viral videos from fireworks and stuff. You know the video, Max, where like the guy's in the wheelchair. I think it's like Terry or something. He's like, "Back up, Terry! What you doing, Terry?" That's like, I don't know. That's a great.
Terry.
Off the Rails is gonna be tomorrow, Yamster, for 4th of July. Off the Rails 4th of July edition. I'm gonna try to find some 4th of July fails. There's a video. I think it was on like E-Bombs World back in the day. It was called Smoking Firecrackers, where a guy put a firecracker in between his teeth and then lit it. That video we used to watch all the friggin' time. I don't know if it's E-Bombs World. It might have been like You're the Man Now, Dog. It's kind of like, we've gone over You're the Man Now, Dog on this stream, but it's like, it was like GIF memes before memes or GIFs were a thing. They were just like short little loops with like sound and like, I don't know. You're the Man Now, Dog was this time. It's a website I spent a lot of hours on as like a growing young man. That and E-Bombs World had like, I think E-Bombs World had like the Afro Ninja, I think was on E-Bombs World, and E-Bombs World had the like they had like the Cobra Badger thing. Do you remember that one? Like Cobra Badger. Peanut Butter Jelly Time, I feel like was like back then. They had like a McDonald's one where it was like ding frada dun, I'm on a run. It's like a Christmas song, but with shout out to E-Bombs World back in the day if you're into early viral stuff. That was like before YouTube was really where you went to find videos.
Yeah, there's a lot of like shock stuff on there too. Like it was less filtered than YouTube.
You're working at Papa John's. I used to work at Papa John's in Burbank, California when I first moved here. That job sucked.
Oh, Badger Mushroom. That was
Badger,
it.
Badger,
Yeah,
Badger, Mushroom.
That was it. Yep. Rockmile knows. I do remember the Family Guy thing from the Ding Fries Are Done. I don't know if that was before. If
Yeah, it might have been. I don't know if they ripped it and put it on
Family Guy was
E-Bombs
the
World,
people
but I definitely saw that on E-Bombs World back in the day. E-Bombs World used to have games too. It's kind of like addicting games style Flash games, but they're usually kind of like a little more adult games they had on E-Bombs World. But yeah, what a
It's
website!
definitely
Like E-Bombs World, I feel like after YouTube just became irrelevant, was definitely like when I was in like middle school. That's where like we'd be sharing videos with each other and watching them during a. We had like a computer tech class where you had to learn how to use a computer, and we would just like play RuneScape and share E-Bombs World videos with each other and try to hide it from the teacher when they walked around to check what we were working on. I'm mining fucking Rune, baby. I got all blue items in RuneScape. I'm a G.
You know, RuneScape is still running today. Like, you could probably still have like those OG skins and shit, and people would be like, "Damn."
It's updated a bunch. Like they've never stopped developing. It's not on the same client it used to be. It's like more 3D now and actually looks semi decent. And I think it's still free to play, but no, I haven't tried logging back in. I wonder if I'd still have my account though. I'm not sure. I didn't have my account though, so it'd be on a different email. Like I didn't have Gmail. That's how old it was. Like Gmail was not a thing yet when I was playing RuneScape.
Damn.
All right, let's do another giveaway. All right, I need to send this shit. I didn't actually send it. 3 million is going to Be Wicked. Congrats.
Mushroom. God damn it, that sounds bad.
Yeah, tomorrow we will do. Tomorrow we're gonna do Off the Rails. Max may or may not be there depending on his and Paul plans. It is an American holiday, but I've got no life. I've got no plan, so I will be excited. If you know of any 4th of July / firework fail videos, please send them my way. I'd love to get seasonal with our Off the Rails. And if not, I'll just YouTube it. I'm sure you can type like 4th of July fails and like Fail Army has done a video. Nashville Lou got 2 million and Cone Dog will get 3 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, 1 million. I did 1 million for Cone. Getting it mixed up because third place is like second place was 2 million, third place must be 3 million, but it goes the other way. And then we'll do one last giveaway and then probably call it a stream because I am hungry. I have to go on my nightly walk before the sun sets too much. I'm gonna make myself another burger. Gotta use all those buns before they go bad, my onion buns. I wanted to play I made another crypto song about
Oh,
I tried to make a G-Funk. I took Max's input for about wax not going up. Can devs do something?
Oh,
I keep
Let's
looking
hear it,
at it, the
let's
price
hear it.
just keeps going down. I wish I'd memorized that guy's. I wonder if that guy's still like, he was such a big thing in 2021. Hard Rock Nick. I feel like he's kind of been excommunicated from the crypto communities.
He's excommunicado.
Onion bun croutons. I've never tried that, but that could be good. Like cutting up the onion buns and then just putting them like on a baking sheet and hardening them.
That could be good.
But I'm gonna try to just eat 8 burgers before the buns go bad and see how that does with my cholesterol. It's the American month, July, right? America's all about overeating and eating fatty, shitty things. I got a couple bags of chips. I'm ready to go. I got barbecue chips, salt and vinegar, and just traditional Lay's chips. So burgers and chips. America! What about Freddy Funko? What about Freddy Funko? Canada's is July 1st. That's your Independence Day. Do y'all do fireworks and stuff too? It gets pretty wild, like a lot of friggin' fireworks. This year's been less though. I think 2020, like 2020, like the first year of COVID was the craziest. Like Burbank has sounded like a fucking war zone for like a week around 4th of July. It was nuts. Oh, Freddy's been gone from Dungeon Master since he's hacked. That's too bad. Freddy was a big collector. He had a bunch of our stuff. He was on like had a bunch of the Ultra or one of ones.
Damn, that sucks.
Do you guys barbecue? Because that's a big thing for like America 4th of July is like you have hot dogs and hamburgers. That's like part of the thing. You go to a park, barbecue or someone's backyard, bring some brews, bring something for the barbecue, and then you get drunk and then blow off fireworks that might blow off your fingers. That is the American tradition. I haven't done fireworks in a while though. That's too bad to hear about Freddy though. Freddy, I think, was in my Dungeon Master like clan or whatever they're called. He was also the highest rated person, so that probably affected the clan pretty hard. I also haven't played Dungeon Master in months, so I'm not helping the clan. Helping just as much as Freddy. Alright, so this was a G-Funk rap song about the price of why Wax cryptocurrency will not go up with a saxophone solo. So KY asked if we could add specific instrument solos, and we will find out. And it says saxophone solo smooth G-Funk. I wonder if this is going to make it so like it's only saxophone and rapping, or if there'll actually be a solo. Let's see.
Have you heard it yet? Or
In the daylight, wallets get heavy, our was about to ignite. Herbs say wax on trip, cruising up like a kite, but reality bites. In the darkest spot, chain unwind, not so divine. Investors drunk on dreams, crypto moonshine. Gas be sky high while bids flatline. Coins on the drop down, predicting decline. Why wax ain't rising, no lifting off the ground. Crypto fog thick, ain't no clarity found. Shed tears like rainbow, hear the saxophone sound. In this turbulent market, fortune circle round. NFT hype fades, pops like a bubble. Speculating hearts caught in digital rubble. Wheel games playing, stirring up trouble on this blockchain. Crypto's bound to stumble. Prices yo-yo up, crash hard through the floor. Folks hollering talk tales, try to implore. But trust stagnates, difficult to restore. In this cryptic ocean, many ships tore.
Oh yeah, there's our sax solo.
oh yeah. It works.
I want to see what the other one sounds like. I feel like that wasn't super G-Funk, to be honest. It sounded more like, I don't know, like social conscious hip-hop. I want to hear like, you know, like Regulators, like Nate Dogg style, when I'm thinking G-Funk. I want a little more synth in there and a little funkier. That was kind of just like soul-inspired hip-hop. Let's see if this next one gives us G-Funk.
It was not bad though.
This is also very 70s. Got the sax though.
Factors in the jungle, confusion and delight. Wallets get heavy, odd rumors bound to ignite. Perps say wax going trip, cruising up like a kite. But reality bites in the dark respite. On the blockchain, unwind, not so divine. Investors
About the same. Do you think we can like type in an artist and make a song like this artist? I wonder if that's a thing. Like who would be
Maybe.
who's an artist we can try to say like, can you make a I shouldn't type that. That's too many words.
Make a song.
Pop
like
song
Shut
like
Up.
Billie Eilish. I feel like she has a pretty distinct singing style. Let me make sure I'm spelling it right.
That's true. It's very like whispery, like
Billie
breathy.
Eilish. Did I spell it right? Billie Eilish. I think I did. About what do we want to make the song about? Thanks for watching our stream. We'll call it. Thanking our Twitch viewers for watching our stream. Let's see. Got the Grubfish open, got 16 people in, but see if they can make a Billie Eilish song. Oh, you can't generate a song with an artist name. So that answers that. Let's do a
So it won't let you, huh?
vocoder electro funk song. Thanking our Twitch. I wanted to sound like Zapp and Roger, but electronic. Zapp and Roger is the jam. Roger Troutman's like probably the. Should I say Talkbox? That's what I meant. He's like probably the best, most famous Talkbox artist of all time. Talkbox vocal electronic funk song. Thanking our Twitch viewers for watching our stream. Yeah, it's like the California knows how to party. That's Roger Troutman.
Yeah.
But his name's Roger and his band was called Zapp. So in the 80s he was called Zapp and Roger was the name of his band. And they're a pretty big band. I don't know. I feel like they were very R&B like I don't know how else to say it, like black people probably know them more than white people. Like they would be at the BET and Music Awards, but maybe not VH1. So like wasn't really in our demographic, but they're pretty well known, and that's why they ended up like being sampled and being featured in hip hop and stuff. But I really like them. And then that's also like what influenced Chromeo. The band is very influenced by but they're like the original Chromeo from the 80s. So let's see if this sounds like Zapp and Roger. Talkbox vocal electronic funk. I should have said 80s, but
let's see.
that's funny. You said the Talkbox guy I know is the penis from Chromeo. There's no way he's not inspired by Roger Troutman. See if I can find a video while we're waiting. Roger Troutman was like I don't know. I'm gonna not. We'll save this for tomorrow because this is the only one we re-upload to YouTube, and we can't get more strikes on YouTube. So tomorrow we can go down any rabbit hole of thank you Twitchers. That's a weird thing they call people that watch Twitch.
Okay, Twitchers.
It says
Speakers?
groovy electronic funk talkbox. The genre.
Okay, let's see. What
Still
was the whole
loading.
prompt?
Talkbox vocal electronic funk song. Thanking our Twitch viewers for watching our stream.
Okay. That's pretty fun. Chromeo.
Two-step,
Mama's Boy.
two-step, two-step,
Mama's Boy,
two-step.
you're a Mama's boy, Mama's boy.
No, that's way old. We got the OGs. I used to like Tenderoni. Yo, my Tenderoni.
Tenderonis, yeah. That's a good
I'm
one.
not that shy. They did make a good album during COVID. That was about like COVID stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, that one's good.
They released an album somewhat recently that I listened to, and it's solid. Okay, this is the first version. It's already not what I wanted it to be.
Twitchers, listen up, we got something to say. Ooh yeah, you tune in day and night, make us feel okay. You got us bouncing, flowing, keeping us on the groove. Yeah, with your chats and bits, oh, you know we can't lose. Games get wild and the laughter flows. You bring the hype.
Weird that it does that. It'll like. Alright, let's try this one anyway. That wasn't even Talkbox. Fucked up my prompt.
Listen up, we got
Yeah,
something to
what?
say. Ooh, yeah. You tune in day and night, make us
Ooh,
feel
the market
okay.
is dumping. I gotta go update my stuff again.
That's how the
I'm up
story
$400 on my
goes.
foot already.
Bringing groovy. Keep Twitch
Okay, so that one failed. That prompt did not work with the TalkBox vocal. Turns out AI can't do everything yet. Trying to think of Zapp and Roger songs people might know. More bounce to the ounce is when I always think, more bounce to the ounce. Get up on the dance floor. They've got a super cool concert they did where he has like a machine gun shaped guitar. More bounce to the ounce. That's the most popular one, I guess. They have one called Computer Love, I think that's pretty cool too. Yeah, here we go. Computer Love, 10 million views. Zapp and Roger live. They have a live show that where like I watched this a bunch of times. It's live at BET. So that's probably where I got the BET thing from. But yeah, like let's play it on mute for a second.
Open the.
Oops.
But now let me tell you the thing.
This is a jam. It's like a party. He has like a friggin' machine gun shaped guitar. There he is with the TalkBox.
So rough, so tough, oh yeah, baby. So rough, so tough, oh yeah, baby.
Okay, I don't think we can play more than that. Yeah. That's Roger Troutman. I'm gonna post this in the chat, but if you like Chromeo, like watch this. This is like what Chromeo wanted to be. I just got old this year and I'm turning 38. 33, and I feel like I got old this year. Fucked up my back sleeping and have had like months of back pain now. All right, let's do this giveaway. Let's call it a stream. We've been going for 3 hours and 40 minutes. This has turned into quite the marathon. All right. Thanks for joining, everybody. I'll stream tomorrow. We'll watch some 4th of July firework fails. And then Friday, maybe play some Counter-Strike or something. But appreciate everybody hanging out on their Thursday. Or their Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is. Holy crap, Wapak is huge. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Oh. Master AIZ. Master A's. You get 3 million. I think that might have been Mahala in second with 2 million. And third was Inadequate Mass, who will get 1 million. Baby, baby, get in my system.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. Right when I fucking sat down, moving again.
What are you just adjusting where it stops?
Yeah, just moving him further down. I'm up $500 now.
Nice. And inadequate.
That was a good win. Literally caught the top right where I marked it. It's too bad my ETH didn't fill. I had my ETH setting at 33.25 and it got to 33 like 15. And then took a shit too. Fuck. Oh well, next time.
Damn, look
I'll
how
just
fast
ride
it's
my
coming
Bitcoin
back up.
tracker. Yeah.
Just dropped all the way down to 32.25, and then oh, now it's going back down. Market's
Yeah,
marketing.
moving,
Oh, now it's back
moving
up.
quick. It's a good time to be trading. This is like I'm gonna have to go over to G Trade.
Who we're gonna raid into? We'll raid into the Las Vegas Ape, who's been doing like a 48-hour stream, which is. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Yeah, that was good. Long stream.
If anyone wants to hang out in Discord, talk to us then. Hit us up. That's the link. Around most of the time, nerding out about stuff in there. If I'm not, been ranting about Counter-Strike for quite some time in there.
Yeah, we're getting ready for the next
Tournament
Counter-Strike
starts in
tournament.
like 2 weeks. Finally, getting closer.
Nice.
Let me make sure. Las Vegas. Yeah. Have a good night, everybody, or a good day, whatever time zone you're in. We will see you tomorrow for some America 4th of July action.
Yeah, happy 4th. See you guys.
How do you stream for 48 hours straight? You like sleep on stream?